take off a couple of heads a night. Somebody give me a guillotine. I just might ride on my enemies. Thought can I fuck on my energy? Nowadays they just talk, but they talk about nothing. Nowadays everybody wanna say something. Goddamn, I'm the man and it feel like it. Give a damn about a hater when I feel like it. Not today, not today, not today, not tomorrow. Get out my way, please, I'm trying to get paid.
What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It is your boy Ernie, the Blerd Without Fear. Got the homie Robo of Left Face TV. Welcome to episode 71 of the Nerds of Culture.
By the way, I forgot to mention this last time.
Oh, what?
How do we go right past 69?
Because
one joke was mad that day.
We you know why? We were too busy talking about Devil May Cry and being children. That's probably why. Yeah, that was probably what
we had other things to be children about.
Yeah, it's like, well, what do you mean? We it was a thing. It was a whole thing. Yeah. No. I don't know shit. But no. In all seriousness, I now ask the question: what were we doing? You know what it is? Yeah, I think I made like an offhand comment about it, but then like I just kind of moved on. I was like, oh yeah,
I like Laugh Entertainment's in here. Like, okay. Sinners, let's get into.
It's like wait, sin. You know what? Yeah, I tell you what,
no but a bullshit.
So I mean, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I have been having a lot of talk with people about Sinners. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The movie. Box office masterpiece, Sinners. And I gotta admit, man, we're cooked. We're cooked.
Okay, hold it though. Save it. Don't let them rush us. Just let the peoples come in. Because I can already tell you're ready to cook. Speaking of cooking,
oh man,
he's sauteing right now. He's got the marinade right there.
Well, go ahead.
And Ernie's come to cook.
What's that guy? Was it Ainsley Harriott? I think he's like an English chef. Used to be on all those like cooking shows. He's the guy like most people probably know because he's the yeah boy.
yeah. I don't know anybody. I realize I don't know anybody's name. I just know faces. I gotta look them up and then I go, oh yeah.
That guy. But no, yeah, just the man. Okay, first off, let's before we actually talk about the thing.
Yeah.
Something I want to say first and foremost, because I think it needs to be said. We need to go ahead and do it now. In the words of Smoke, we sent the flowers. Yeah, we sent the flowers while Ryan Coogler could still smell them. Okay, okay. We're gonna send them now while Mr. Coogler can actually get a whiff. Take a nice little of it. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Yeah. And I want to make sure that it doesn't go understated. First and foremost here, let's talk about the real shit. Ryan Coogler knocks it out of the park
again.
Literally, like the man just out here just pew 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 does not miss. So I gotta drop a bomb for that. Gotta give up a bomb. Gotta give up a bomb for that one. The cast is out here. The cast is out here.
Flawless.
Being their best selves. What is this? In this economy? Who can afford that? Who can afford that? Being their best and most authentic selves. I love to see it in this day and age. And not only that, not only that, I love how everyone is in here. I just want here. Let's pull this up. I actually have a little bit of imagery that I would like to share with you all, because I think that this shit just needs to be shared. It needs to be shared. It needs to be shown. People need to be paying attention to it. I just want to show y'all just the beautificiousness of this cast. All right. Look at that cast. Look at that cast. Here, I'm gonna zoom this out just a little bit so y'all can see everybody. Look at that cast. And hold, let me fix Robo, because Robo is in the lurch right now. Robo is like way down in the south. I gotta fix Robo. I apologize, y'all.
What's up, guys?
He's like, hey, what's going on? He's like, yeah, hey, it's just me. Just me. But no, I just
Okay, hold on. Talk about Eugene. There was a Latino who's a known bigot content creator.
Wait, what?
Don't you overgeneralize for that piece of shit?
Wait, what happened?
Some dumb fucking piece of shit. He was like, didn't give flowers to Dusk Till Dawn. I'm like, bitch, shut your fucking ass up. Hey, talking about a Latino movie made by a whole ass white dude. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, I mean, wait. I thought that was Robert Rodriguez.
Who?
From Dusk Till Dawn. Was that not Robert Rodriguez?
That's not Quentin Tarantino's movie?
No, he's just in it.
Oh, I thought that was his movie. I don't give a fuck.
Well, I mean, even then, I want to make something very clear about this. Robert Rodriguez didn't invent the vampires, like people trapped in a house full of vampires. He didn't invent that.
Right.
Robert Rodriguez didn't invent that. And I will also say one thing about this movie that I will definitely give to Ryan Coogler, feather in his cap, is Sinners is a movie I can take way more fucking seriously. Like
100%. As you're supposed to.
As you're supposed to. Not only that, while From Dusk Till Dawn does bend some genres, it blends the action, the horror, the comedy, and the crime. This movie actually spins way more plates. This movie, first off, it spins way more plates, and also is not just a horror movie just by virtue of that.
Right.
This movie is, for one, it is a little bit of a drama. One could make an argument for it being a little bit of a musical.
My son literally asked me when I asked him, I said, do you want to come see Sinners? I said, he goes, I haven't heard it. I've seen some stuff on it. I'm like, well, look at the trailer and tell me if you want to come with us tonight. He ended up coming, but before that, he was like, is it a musical? I was like, you must have seen the wrong trailer. And then as I watched the movie, I was like, yeah, I see.
A little bit.
I see.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's not like a hardcore musical, but I mean, it's about as close to being a musical as you can get without officially being labeled a musical. Right. And it's also, it's kind of like, while it's not, while the events that take place in this movie are not, historically fact. I mean, there are elements of the story that are historically fact, like, as far as like the setting, where what things were like in Mississippi, in the South, in that time frame. Because I think it was, as I said, was like 1923.
But there actually wasn't two dudes who got attacked by vampires.
Like, yeah, it's like if you remove the dudes getting attacked by vampires, then it becomes a more historically accurate film. But a lot of the things that happen in this movie, like, don't get me wrong, I even said myself when I dropped my review of it, I said there was a part of the movie where I kind of got From Dusk Till Dawn vibes, but I mean, I feel the same way about that I do about people saying that this movie is Bitterroot the movie. It's only Bitterroot the movie if you don't know shit about Bitterroot. Like, if you just heard, like, if someone just told you about Bitterroot today, and you're like, and so all you know is, ooh, black people fight monsters. Like, okay, yeah, but that's not what this movie is, because none of the characters are monster hunters. Let's just take that out of the equation. This movie is closer to being
none of the characters.
Well, I'm talking about principal cast. I'm talking about principal.
Them indigenous folks came through.
Well, no, they came through, but what I'm talking about is, I mean, if the movie was about the indigenous characters, then then it would. But this movie ain't about the indigenous characters. They literally show up, and be like, "Hey, all right, y'all don't want no help. All right, cool, bye, we out." Look, they're like, "All right, young warrior, man, go handle your business." But no, I just want to say that when it comes down to it, From Dusk Till Dawn, they're like, I love how people act like From Dusk Till Dawn wasn't on the lips and hearts of all people during the time that it came out. Like, From Dusk Till Dawn is like not just a classic, but it's a cult classic as well as being just a mainstream classic. Like, that's a movie that
here's what's even better.
Yeah.
Ryan Coogler gave the motherfucker his flowers. He did.
Yeah, he did. Matter of fact, you know what it reminds me of? So what you just said earlier when you were talking about the indigenous characters, I saw what I didn't get a good look at the profile pic because it was kind of fuzzy, but what looked like a whole white woman who was bitching and moaning, saying that I don't appreciate how I'm not seeing people give our indigenous brothers and sisters their flowers for the representation they got in this movie. Everybody's talking about everything else but that. I was like, bitch, where you been?
37 seconds, homie. But I get that, and they were badass too. I need a whole part 2 just about them now.
Right. It's like, and that was the thing. I was like, dude, and a lot of people also kind of said this as well. It's like, oh, it depends on your algorithm, because I was like, you clearly don't talk to people who would normally talk about stuff like this. Because I was like, I literally see people talking about the Choctaw Native Americans that show up in the film.
All the memes,
everything.
Like, all right then.
All right, peace.
Good luck.
Look, they literally hit that motherfucker with the boondocks and be like, wouldn't let that shit happen to me though. I'm out of here, bitch.
Oh, dude, I used to say, hey, it's getting dark. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're right.
Bye.
Bye. Look, yeah, for real. I mean, look, let me keep it a buck with y'all.
Hold on. That's a good question.
Yeah, what's up?
We actually haven't said spoilers. So is this? Are we doing a non-spoiler section?
No. Fuck that shit. We're going. Well, I tell you what. If you think we should, we'll do a non-spoiler talk. All right,
let's do this, because I know a couple people have said they're gonna bounce because they haven't seen it yet. So let's do like, what is it, 7:15 now or 15 after, wherever time zone you're in. Let's go to like, we'll say 15 minutes. Let's give our non-spoiler feels on the movie, and then y'all got 15 minutes.
He's like, that's it. That's all you got. Look, after 15 minutes, it's above me. It's above me after 15 minutes.
That's right. Above my pay grade.
Well, and I just want to say, like, look at this cast. Look at this cast. This cast, mostly black cast. Yeah, with some sprinkles of other spectrums, color spectrum, both color and non-color spectrum.
That's right.
First off, let me
even the pink dude all the way on the left, cool dude.
Yeah, cool dude.
Yeah, looking sharp.
Yeah. I just appreciate it because I'm like, man, dude, this little Irish motherfucker coming out here, come dressed down to the nines. He knew he was. He's like, nah. He's like,
he couldn't. He's like, look, I can't be all regular.
He's like, man, Michael B. He's like, Michael B. gonna be there, baby.
Yep. He's got the pose down too.
Actually, wait. What is the show everybody does, like the little walk when they come to the talk show? What is it? What's the show? Is it the Jennifer Hudson show?
What, I know what you're talking about. They do the song. Yeah.
Look, he's already got his fit.
Ready.
Look, he's gonna come down dancing a goddamn Irish jig, like he did in the movie. He'll be coming up.
Yep.
Which apparently, I don't know if anyone knew this. Apparently, he didn't have to train for that. He already knew.
That's right.
He's like, I'm already in. He's like, oh man, I got this. It's like when you hire a black person for a movie where the script calls for the character to do the electric slide. They don't need to train for it. They already know. It's like, no, don't worry. We don't need to hire anybody to teach me. I already got this.
The opposite of sazon. What is the opposite of sazon? Let's see, sweet and savory, fucking bitter and dry.
Yeah.
Dirt. I don't know.
The absence of sazon. That's what that is.
Yeah, that's it. That's like happiness. Like, there's no cold. There's just the absence of heat.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. But no, I love this cast. It's a beautiful cast. First off, I want to point out something here. Michael B. Jordan, absolutely out here slaying. Gay turned in what I think is honestly a even for him a landmark performance playing the Smokestack Twins.
Next level.
Dude,
Next level.
out here. Like, honestly, I remember watching the trailers, and it wasn't until like maybe a couple of weeks before the movie came out, I realized he was playing two different characters. Because it wasn't really like focused on.
Man, thank you. I was going to say it. I wasn't going to say it here because I know people are going to be like, oh, so all black people look like blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, no, time out. This dude did so good. His manner was, so check this out. There's a thing that there was this book I read, and it was written by a CIA dude, and it was talking about how people get disguises wrong.
Oh,
like, disguises are about like noses and like, you know, putting on silly costumes or whatever to make it look like you're somebody else. They said the human brain is actually much more simpler than that. The human brain is just looking for like the way you walk, little accessories that you have. Like you can have a dude with a limp and a cane, and you walk with that limp and a cane, and the only thing you have to do to be unrecognizable to most people is walk normally without a cane. You don't even have to change your face, your hair, color, clothing, nothing. Just be like you'll be blind to the people because you don't have the things. He did so good at acting that my brain was registering two different people.
So
good.
And I'll say this because this is something I was thinking about when I walked out of the theater, that I'm willing to gamble had Chadwick Boseman not passed when he did, I 110 million % believe he'd have been in this movie. I 110 million % believe he would have been in this movie. I actually think maybe he wouldn't have been, maybe Michael B. Jordan wouldn't have been yeah, he wouldn't be playing two different characters. Like, it wouldn't be like, they wouldn't be twins. They probably just would have been brothers. Who knows? Or maybe they would just been like, I don't know, something else.
Aspect to it.
But yeah,
Chadwick Boseman would have definitely been in it.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely would have. And I think honestly, I feel like he would have played. Actually, you know what I think? I don't know if he would have been one of the twins. I actually think maybe he might have been one of the other characters, probably like one of maybe like Preacher Boy or something along those lines. I could see.
Yeah, that's what. I think Preacher Boy had to be young. The twins had to be twins. I can't really think of a character that's big enough for Chadwick Boseman. What I think is if we're just throwing out hypotheticals, I bet you he would just play another bigger part.
Probably,
like maybe a mentor of theirs or a best friend that fights with them along with Mary.
I can see that.
Not Mary, but Annie. You know what I mean? But yeah.
It, like I said, it was, like I said, it was good shit. It was just good shit. I mean, and also I just want to point out too, look at the, like, even in this one shot here, you can already tell these two characters, while yes, it is the same actor, you can clearly see these people have two completely different personalities.
Their shoulders, the way they hang their shoulders, the way they hang their arms, their face, the tension he's wearing, like everything. God,
the fact that
is it's a science. I love it.
When Michael is playing Smoke, I don't think there's a single moment in the movie where he smiles. I actually don't think there's a single. I honestly do not recollect a single moment where he actually has much. Like, if he smiles, it's never like anything like Stack is smiling ear to ear most of the time you see him. Like, almost every single time you see Stack, that motherfucker is ear to goddamn ear. And his mannerisms, the way he carries himself, the way Smoke carries himself is way more, just way different. But yeah, that like I said, that was just, it was perfect. It was absolutely positively perfect. Haley Steinfeld, you did a fantastic job. Playing a white passing woman in the South.
Yeah,
because
who for most intents and purposes would be considered black during this day and age.
Yeah, because of the one drop rule. The one drop rule,
and who she hung with and who she slept with. Yeah,
no, 100%. It's and I appreciated that Ryan Coogler leaned in to that, and also so did Haley with her performance. Because there was a point, I don't have it in front of me right now, but there was a point I saw someone make about how there's some very distinct moments where you can see the black come out of Haley in a couple of scenes. Like there's a
boy, if you don't get out my
yeah. Like the way, and it was like the way, like
that's the
like,
line right there,
dude. I was like, man, I was like that was real. I was like, that was real.
Yeah,
and I think it also was enhanced by the fact that I think we talked about this or not last week, maybe the week before, maybe that while working on this film, Haley had revealed that she had discovered that she is actually that she is actually part black. Like half she said half black, half Filipino. And I was like, oh shit. And it was like, man, this is wild. But yeah, once again, Haley was out here like, and honestly, Haley is a good actress, just period. So I mean, it's no surprise. The one that I actually was really surprised so many people had slept on was Wumi Masaku, who I feel like a lot of people forgot about Lovecraft Country, just because. So,
I think it's a two-parter when we talk about being surprised about being slept on. If you slept on her that she was gonna act her ass off, then yeah, I'm surprised. You obviously didn't know.
Yeah.
If you were surprised that they were gonna pick her to be the love interest.
Oh,
and her. Well, of course she's gonna nail it anyway. But like, damn, the chemistry off the charts. Like,
oh man,
it was so good. So that part I was surprised at.
Yeah,
so having a larger, dark-skinned woman play the love interest of not a side character. Not a goofy guy nobody likes.
A main character.
The main character who, is the actor's a sex symbol. Like he's an attractive dude, and that's the girl that's gonna get him. That's the woman that's gonna get him. Yeah.
And not only just that, but she has agency. She is a fully fleshed out character who has agency. She's not, and even for that time frame, what I really like about this, and I wish more people talked about, was that she is not only the love interest of one of the main characters who is himself a sex symbol, but she is not treated like because normally you get these types of pairings
as an object, right?
Yeah, like you're one of two things. You're either an object or your comic relief. Like they'll do the thing where like, hey, we're gonna take this dude who's normally like the super sexy, like always on the cover of like whatever the fuck magazine with the shirt off, and we're gonna take this woman who's like Melissa McCarthy or some shit, and we're gonna pair them together. And the joke is that they're not supposed to be together. That's the draw. Right. But like in this, it was not that. This felt real. Like the fact that the way that Wumi was playing the character. Like it wasn't like she was a go-getter. Like she was a go-getter. She was not waiting to be saved. She was not waiting for Smoke to come give her the D. She was like, no. I'm taking it.
That's mine. Your body remembers me or something like that.
I was like, bruh. I was like, dude, I ain't gonna lie. I almost stood up in my chair for a moment. I was like, wow, hold on, wait a minute. What movie is this?
Man. So, you know what else is, well, first let me say this, but and I feel bad saying this. This is gonna highlight, some problematic areas about myself, but I'm not really. That's not my type. Like, I like all types of women. I like thick women. I love thick, but I'm not really into big women, right? And I realized that maybe I have something like I need to let go in myself because, like, I'm like, damn, she is bad. Like, I want to be like in the titties, you know what I mean? Like I want to be nurtured, and I'm like, man, I think I've been fucking up.
Dude, I'll keep it a buck with you. Okay, I just want to say just real quick before I forget. If you are one of those people who has been sleeping on Wumi Masaku, let me go and tell y'all right now, go watch His House. Go watch the movie His House. That, like, I already knew about her from Lovecraft Country. But when I watched His House, she plays the female lead in that movie. The performance she gave in that movie, I was like, oh my God. I was like, Loki is wasting her. Loki is wasting her talent.
Didn't even realize it was the same actor.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even realize. That's how bad. Like man, you didn't do anything with her.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yep, Scavenger's Reign. That's another one. Scavenger's Reign. That's another one. And that's the thing. I think people really need to just start paying more attention to her because I feel like she is one of those. She is one of those people that I think, especially now that Sinners has been like on everybody's mind. I feel like this is going to be that performance that's going to kind of push her more into the mainstream. You're going to start seeing her more often. That's my hope, at least.
Yeah.
Also, real
100%.
quick. Hold on, let me answer a question. But no, I will say too, while we're talking about really good performances, first off, what I have a feeling I'm gonna fuck this dude's name. Is it Miles Catan or Preacher Boy? We'll just say Preacher Boy. He's Preacher Boy from now on. Preacher Boy acting his ass off, in this movie.
Oh, before we go past her real quick, I'm sorry.
Oh,
before
go
we
ahead.
go past her, I love the fact that they did the spiritual bit. She got to
Oh,
be
yeah.
caretaker, nurturer, and spiritual, and still be more than that.
Yes, she wasn't okay. So in any other movie, she would have been the magical Negro.
That's right.
In any other movie, she would have been the magical Negro, and the magical Negro mammy, and nothing else. She would not be a sex symbol. She would not be a strong lead. She'd be a background character. At best, she would not be a love interest to any character other than like another background character. And yet, she is not.
Matter of fact, I would say that if this movie had been made by somebody else, like in the 90s, she would have played the same exact role she played in this movie, but take all that three-dimensional and that and then flatten it. She would have been, the woman who lost her child, the one who takes care of kids who's not her own, the spiritualness, the healingness, the one who knows hoodoo and has the information to win and then dies. You know what I mean? All that shit would have happened without any of the depth that she got to have in this movie, being its own character. That's how I wanted to make sure I said that. That shit, so good.
And
like you said, not a lot of Black British people know about her, about His House compared to everyone else in the diaspora. Wish we cared more about our art.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, all I can do is tell people. All I can do is I can lead the horse to water, but I'll be damned if I can make some bitch drink. Okay? Yeah. We can only do so much. But no, just to get us Miles, fantastic. Preacher Boy held it down. This guy, I think I want to see more of this guy. I liked him in this role. I loved what he brought to it. I will also say, okay, you know what? Okay, you know what? Here,
by the way, we you got your 15 minutes.
Yeah,
15 minutes is up, peoples. We spoilers.
Yeah, it's.
I'm only saying that because I reminded myself when I just said she died. So, spoiler.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're in this shit now. We're in the end game now.
That's right.
But no, I just want to say that we've had a lot of discourse about this movie. Some of it largely centric to Preacher Boy's character. And I have learned that people are cooked. Like general audiences are cooked. Media literacy is so lost on these people. There's people who don't understand, even though it's very plainly stated by at least two different characters in the movie that silver hurts vampires. People are still trying to do deep dives and analyses, further analyses, and asking questions about why
the guitar hurt
hurt hurt Remick in the movie. And I'm like, See, y'all got up and went and got snacks or some shit. Y'all must have went up and got snacks, or you fell asleep. Like, cause I was like, it was okay. First off, if you've ever seen Blade, like,
Right.
then you know, cause silver is a thing that it kind of changes depending on who's telling the story. Sometimes in some vampire myths, vampires are affected by silver. In other myths, they are not. In some myths, silver doesn't even fucking come up. But in this particular instance,
do, like,
it is
silver bullets for werewolves or whatever.
right. Like it's a thing that it is literally stated out loud. Like it is not like a ooh. Oh, by the way, this is silver. Okay, okay, move on to the next thing. No, it's like, yeah, no, for real, y'all. It's silver. Silver hurts vampires, y'all. And then you got some dumbass on like social media, like, can somebody explain to me exactly why Preacher Boy's guitar hurt Rubik is just a regular guitar? Is there something special about it? I think we should do a deep dive and analyses into why it actually hurt him, because the film didn't actually go out of its way to make that terribly clear. Get the fuck out of my face with that shit.
So let me tell you, I love doing this to Ernie. I love doing this. So when it happened, I was like, huh. Why did it do that? Like, what was it like? Maybe, because it was the preacher's guitar? No, it wasn't the preacher's guitar. And then, but I just want to say, in my defense, as y'all can imagine, I talk a lot. So I'm always like leaning over to like man-eater with my son. I'm like, so it probably could have happened one of those times. But it took me all of about 2.5 seconds to go, it's silver.
Silver. See, you figured it
I'm
out.
not going to come out of the movie, drive home, get on Threads and ask a question. It didn't take that long.
No.
But I was confused at first. So when Ernie's going all in, like, this stupid fucking dumbass, I'm like, that was me.
Well, I mean, no, but that's what I'm talking about, though. I'm talking about the people who came home, sat down, had a soda, ate dinner, spent more time with their family, went to worked half a shift at least, and then came, to the wherever the fuck they get lunch from, and sat down to their lunch break, and literally pulled the phone and said, "I don't get it." Fuck out of my face with that shit. It's like, dude, it was like he was literally giving the game away. He gave the game away. I don't know.
I know I had to have missed it. I had to have missed when they said it, because we were catching a lot of shit. Like, I knew, like, I don't think it wasn't like some sort of M. Night Shyamalan. There were no like big twists and turns. Like, that's not what the movie was about, right? So calling shit, I'm not saying I called it because it's impressive. Most of the things were like you knew what was going to happen next, but it was how it happened and and the story it was going to tell while it happened.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had heard that, I would have been like, I would have leaned over and whispered like I was when they were saying it in the first place, I'm sure, and be like, they're going to use that guitar to kill the vampire witch.
See, that's what we call Chekhov's guitar. That's what we call that. That's Chekhov's guitar. This is going to come into play later. Well, also, like, you see at the very beginning of the movie that it's broken. So it's like, something's going to happen to it at some point. And it's like, okay, all right, let's get to it. But no, what I did, actually, here, I can answer this real quick. Infamous Mike Manhattan says, so other than Twilight, are there any other movies or whatever where vampires can go out in sunlight? Technically, Bram Stoker, if I remember correctly, because if Dracula had recently fed, he could go out. But it kind of depended. Like, not talking about the movie Bram Stoker's, but yeah. There are certain myths where, like, if a vampire, like, drinks some blood, like, if he's recently fed, they can go out.
Yeah, I couldn't name them, but I know there's stories I've read that are like, they're weaker in the sun, or they can't spend too long in the sun. There's different ranges to that.
Yeah. It depends. Like, honestly, there's a reason why, if you go on the website TV Tropes, there's a reason why there's a trope called "Our Vampires Are Different." There's a reason why there's a trope. Because if I remember correctly, in Fright Night, I think there was a part in like Fright Night where, like, the dude, like, he wasn't like out in broad daylight or anything, but like the sun was still like vaguely in the sky, just not all the way the fuck up. But yeah.
No, I like that trope too. There's like, aha, cross. Like, get that shit out of my face.
Yeah, fuck out of here.
I'm different.
Look, yeah, that's right. Our vampires are built different, motherfucker. But no, that's what it is. I will say this too, because I see it come up here in the chat, because you can't really talk about this without talking about Preacher Boy on some level. So I saw a lot of people get real mad. I'm talking OD angry, and I fucking loved it. I fucking loved it because I eat this shit up. I don't normally talk about my my disdain for organized religion, openly, but I will just go ahead and make it very clear right now. If you are someone who is the least bit sensitive about that sort of stuff, well, you might want to cover your ears, because Uncle,
you know what, you be all right.
You be all right, because Uncle Blerd has something to say. Christianity is a colonizer's religion. It's an oppressor's religion.
And I don't want to hear one word. I know somebody's gonna do it before I even finish my sentence. Ethiopia, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just because it wasn't Ethiopia, I want you to ask how many of your ancestors became Christian because of Christians in Ethiopia. Come on now.
Also, I want to ask you, who brought it there?
Yeah.
How did that get there? Because look,
well, Jesus, but
Jesus, but yeah, I just like to remind people. I just like to remind people of this because it's a hard fact of life I had to come to accept. I've never given my backstory on this before, but maybe once. But just for anyone who doesn't know, there was once upon a time that I myself had designs on being a preacher. I was that religious that I was very interested in the idea of becoming a preacher, and had felt that way for, I won't say a long time, but like it was one of the more consistent things that I thought about doing as I was from the age of being like maybe 8 or 9 to like the time that I was like in my mid-teens, maybe even closer to late teens. I was at least a junior in high school when I like was like, oh no, I'm good. And it was because the more I thought about it, I was like, well, where the hell does all this come from?
That's right.
Why do we follow this whole thing? What's the deal?
Mm-hmm.
Like I turned into Seinfeld. What's the deal with black people really being into Christianity? And I kind of had to think about it. I was like, well, I mean, yeah, the times that we would have been like probably more indoctrinated by would have been during slavery. And who fucking indoctrinated us with that shit?
That's right.
And also, I want to share this with you, and I know some people are going to get angry with me for sharing this. I'm just going to go ahead and say I'm not apologizing for it, but I just want to share this with you. How can a slave and a master both serve the same God when both of them expect their prayers to be answered by the very same God? How is that possible?
Oh, no, it's easy. It's easy. The master is not the real Christian. The slave is the real Christian.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Turner was a preacher. Yeah, we
right.
know. We know. Most slaves were Christian. They didn't have a choice.
Yeah. I mean, look.
And by the way, I wasn't sure. I didn't know the context, but given what, of course, Black church saved people in Jim Crow. Who else would have? Right. They didn't have a choice. That's a selection bias.
Also, and
how many other religions were there?
And I also want people to really like take this into account. Think about how like Haitian like voodoo and hoodoo was demonized. Think about how think about the reason, like to the point that even black people, descendants of this culture, were afraid of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know why we felt that way? Because to this day, still afraid of it. The reason why? Because we were fucking taught to be afraid of it.
Yes.
So yes,
and that's our ancestors' religion.
Yes.
Like you can't call it ahistorical when our indigenous religions, our African religions, all became today's horror tropes because we live in a Christian hegemony. But they get upset when we say when I say things like Christian mythology, shit like that. My ancestors weren't doing voodoo. Where are you from? Where are your ancestors from?
Yeah, please.
Are you African American? Were your ancestors? Yeah. Are you descendant of American slavery or South American slavery?
Wait, first off, that statement makes no sense. My ancestors are in Africa now, not doing. Okay, so first off, of course they're not doing voodoo. They're fucking dead. Anyway, moving on for this foolishness. I want to talk to actual like smart-brained people. Well, that's a whole other problem that they got.
Hey, come find me tomorrow on Friday.
Yeah,
I'll do this all day.
yeah. I'm about to say because Robo will sit there and spar with you dumbass all day. Yeah. I'm not gonna do it.
I'll get nothing done because I just want to talk to you.
Yeah, no, we got other. Look, there's 183 people in here. I ain't got time to get my crayons out for one ignorant motherfucker. I'm sorry, I just ain't got it. But no. That said, yes, I actually liked the message that it had in here about what it was trying to push in terms of where Preacher Boy was. A lot of people try to say this movie is anti-Christian. It's actually not. As a matter of fact, I don't know how people walked out of this movie thinking that.
Did you reach the end?
Yeah, did you reach
the end, stupid?
You walked out of you had to have walked out of the theater like somewhere midway through the movie. But what I will say is
stand for this
heathenry,
this blasphemy. Bitch, the Christians were the only ones who survived. This all happened because of their sin. This is a Christian movie. You know what I mean? Preacher Boy fucked up and slept with a married woman. The married woman fucked up and had adultery. Everybody was fucking everybody. The only people who survived were the people in the church and the pastor who told his son, "Do not go because the devil will follow you." Mm-hmm. But it's an anti-Christian movie.
It's anti-Christian.
You guys are fucking dumb. You guys are just stupid.
Also, I want to point something out. It's not that Preacher Boy. No, you're good. You're good. It's not that Preacher Boy wasn't Christian. He just wanted to play fucking music.
He wanted to have fun. He wanted to live his own life. Yeah.
Like, dude, you know what Preacher Boy was? A typical dude his age. A guy who literally, because remember, he was out there in the field picking cotton all day in the hot sun. What do you think he wanted to do when he came home? Do you think he wanted to preach or he wanted to cut loose? He wanted to fucking cut loose. And it's not that he didn't understand.
Prodigal son.
Right.
This was a subtext. He was the prodigal son and he came back home.
He did. And here's the thing. Because this is the other thing people didn't get. People thought that he didn't understand religion. He clearly did, because when his father asked him to read the scripture, he literally went to the book. He read the book for like 2 seconds, walked away from the podium, and read the rest of the passage from fucking memory. The thing is, his heart wasn't in preaching. Hence, why he gave a deadpan read of the scripture. It would be no different than if I, a person who makes videos on YouTube, try to beat into my child's head that that's what they're gonna do, and it's not what they have their heart into. It's the same fucking thing. And people just, like, honestly, yeah, we're cooked as a society. Motherfuckers don't know how to read. Motherfuckers don't know how to pay attention. Motherfuckers don't know how to see subtext. Hell, they can't even understand just regular text. Fuck the subtext. Fuck subtext. They don't understand regular text.
Like this motherfucker ended up, the father says in the text, if you keep going out with the devil, the devil will follow you home. So then he goes out and fights devils. And then he goes back home to a church, walks into the church, and the father says, "My son," this is the script. You don't got to read into it. I'm just going to tell you, my son is back home. And some motherfuckers in the theater are like, I wonder what they could mean by this.
Right?
He's just
Like,
telling you. He's telling you.
You know what it reminds me of? You know what it reminds me of? It reminds this is why first off, I just want to point this out, unrelated but kind of at the same time. This is why Democrats lost the election. Because you literally had a motherfucker literally sit up here telling you, okay, well, I want to do this, and this. I just don't know what her policies are. I don't know. I just feel like she hasn't talked enough about her policies. What the fuck is wrong with you people? What is fucking wrong with you people? Like, what is wrong?
Don't get me started.
Look, I'm just saying, like, I
What's up, man eater?
Hey! Also, I real quick, while we I want to take this, I want to take this brief opportunity to let's go back and look at some super chats here. Just right quick, like, you know how we do. You know what time it is, y'all. You know how we do. We got to look at the super chats, man. I can't not look at the super chats. I mean, come on, what are we doing here? I would be cheating you guys. I'd be cheating you guys out of your money.
The chat is there's some special ones today.
We
should talk about sinners more often.
Right, dude. I love it, dude. Let's keep. Yeah, please come back all the time. We'll gladly talk about sinners so you can be angry. Anyway, let's take a look real quick. We got one here. This is Stomp 10, I believe. Actually, I wonder how this is going to show up because I actually have this kind of cattywampus. Here, let's see what happens. We'll see. Here, let's.
Boom.
Nah, I'll have to move it a little bit, but oh wait, that is not the thing I meant to move. Let's scoot this over. I'm using a different window because I like us being bigger. I like us being bigger on the screen. Let's scoot this bad boy over just a taste for right now. But Stomp 10 with the $4.99 says, "What up, Blerds? I'm so used to seeing Haley Steinfeld playing clean Marvel characters that her raunchy dialogue really shocked me." So I'm not gonna hold you. The part that one of the main parts I know Stomp 10 is talking about, the part where she's like, was that before or after you ate my pussy out? Like that. I was like, wait a minute. Whoa. Ah!
Oh, man.
I was like, whoa, wait a minute, Haley. Kate Bishop can't be out here saying this.
Man. Here for it.
I was like, God damn. I was like, what would Bumblebee say? What would Bumblebee say if he heard you talking like this?
That's my Kate Bishop.
Right?
Hashtag my Kate Bishop.
Right? I was like, man, this is a Wendy's. Wendy's. Hold on. What are we
She looked at
doing?
you and said, boy, if you don't get out of my way.
Yeah, right? I'm just saying. Look, I love how she Ed Wunslered the fuck out of old boy in the middle of the juke joint. But no, we also got the novice with, man, dude, 10 pounds for the crown. Nice. Love to see it. Says, like this film so much, I'm okay with no sequels. However, a show about the natives hunting the supernatural in that world, yep, they caught Remick slipping in the sunlight. Dude, that's something I think is not being talked about enough. We're talking about the indigenous representation, but I feel like that's the thing a lot of people aren't really paying as much attention to. The fact that
they almost got that motherfucker. We almost didn't get a movie.
Dude, let me tell y'all something. That motherfucker almost didn't make it. They almost shut the movie down.
Yep.
Remick almost got closed down within the first 30, 40 minutes of the movie.
Yep.
Think about that.
But here, to the super chat, this movie, right? Same vibes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Same tone, everything the same. It's in the indigenous peoples of the 1930s, and the whole movie is tracking down this coven that has been terrorizing these reservations. And these motherfuckers get them all.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. Except for one. and the movie's running out of time, and they got to get one. And if they don't get that one, he's going to make more. So we have to get that one.
Look.
And the last thing is him making it to that house, and the thing zooms out, and the fucking credits roll, and you know that's where Sinners starts.
Look, let me put y'all on game about something right quick. This motherfucker, he showed up on them white folks' front doorstep with 1 HP. This motherfucker showed up with 1 HP. That like you know how like sometimes y'all my fighting game, my FGC fam out there, y'all probably know what I'm talking about. Y'all know when you fighting a motherfucker, you beating that ass, and you know how like the health bar, like they still alive, but their health is so low, you can't see that last sliver. It's because he literally, that's less than 1%.
Yeah.
That motherfucker don't even have 1 HP. This man has a 64th of 1 HP. He has 1/64 HP, showed up on their doorstep. And here's what I like about it. And this is the thing I really appreciate about this. These white folks who let his dumbass in, they were so caught up in their whiteness and their privilege, they looked this motherfucker. Motherfucker showed up, got smoke coming off his back.
From the sun.
And they
weren't
even worried.
Kind of fucked up if you think about it. If you go back to that last image.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he was full on vampire teeth, but his teeth look kind of like I remember like, oh yeah, obviously he was a vampire here, but I mean like I was like, he almost looks kind of monstery, but that is a fucking flawless thing that I didn't even think about till just now, what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact that engines were out there was scarier and more offensive to them than this fucking dude burning in the sunlight. It's like, come on in.
And the messed up part about it too, like look at it. They literally saw what was going on and said, fuck it, he's white. Yeah, bring him on in. He's white. He's coming home. What is he going to do to us? Because we're white.
That's right.
And it all goes downhill from there. And also to G Martinez Max assertion, yes, they were also Klansmen. So they were good old. This is a good old boy family. So of course they're like, oh yeah, fuck it. Yeah. And he had the gold too. Look. That he had the gold as well. That is also true. So I mean, yeah. Here's the thing. As far as they were concerned, everything was above board. Because I promise you, had a black vampire showed up on their doorstep, the conversation would have gone a whole lot differently. Or if an indigenous,
he'd have been shot dead for sure.
Oh yeah, dude. Both barrels. Look, that motherfucker would hit you with both barrels of that. That looks like a Romero. Look, that looked like a. Look, actually, wait. I don't know. Is that a Romero or is that a Caldwell rival? I don't know. I'm not really sure. But I mean, either way. They would have lit this motherfucker up. They would have shot him and 20 more Negroes and looked just like him. But I want to get back to get back to our super chasers. We got a couple. Well, here we'll let reload. We got a couple here. From Gearless Mo, I want to address. Man, we got two. Man, dude, look, I feel like I haven't got to sing this in a while, so I'm getting to do it twice. Feels good. Yeah. We got the first of two 1999 super chats says, can we have that character appear more to explain why or ask why? Yeah, okay, so I wonder, because this was a little bit further back. I'm not sure
what character he's talking about.
I'm not sure either. I wonder if it's I wonder if this is for if we are talking about the indigenous character, talking about, because I want to say, I think this came up like back when we were first talking about the Native American characters, the Choctaw characters that showed up. I wonder if that's what it was. But I will say this, whatever the case, I want to see those characters again. I actually want that prequel. I want that prequel. And what would make it even more awesome is just seeing a whole gang of vampires just getting lit up all the way down to almost the last man. I kind of need that in my life. I want that in my life, and I would like to have it in my life. We've also got another 1999 super chat from Gearless Mo, who also says, so that's why you use your testify voice when you explain things. I get it. No, that is actually 100%. Like, a lot of people think that's a joke or like a gag. No, it's actually where it comes from. It's for real. Like, like when I tell, like, it seems so, like, if anyone who knows me, like, really knows me, I'm not talking about parasocial knows me, but really knows me, anyone would probably be like, oh yeah, it totally makes sense. Because, I was that guy. I was that dude. I legitimately, unironically wanted to be a preacher.
Yeah.
Now I laugh at it because it's silly. But no.
Now True Secret has to go. Now has to go watch a real Christian like Rob.
Oh man. Well, I tell you what. Go right ahead. Be my guest, because I was about to say Rob is a godless heathen just as much as I am. I think.
Yeah. He doesn't make me hear it.
Oh, is that what it is, dude? Let me tell you something. This is something I learned about religion as I got older, and my mother taught me this as well. If your faith is so shakable that someone else talking shit about your faith will break you, you're not a serious person. You're not serious about your faith. And look, I'd be like, hey, bye, gone, get. Look, what was that shit? I always loved it in Tombstone. When was it Curly Bill? Wherever it was, I think it was Curly Bill. He says, well, bye. That's how I feel about that shit. That said, we also got Television right here, also out here with the 5 months in a row in the Blerd Club gold mine. Says, so where does Sinners place on the all-time list of vampire movies? Sky high.
Look.
Sky high.
Look. You can call it the law of recency. I'm going to give you my answer right now.
Mm-hmm.
Ask me again in 6 months. It's got to be the best vampire movie I've ever seen in my life.
Yes. I will also say
I have no problem putting it number one straight up. I cannot name a vampire movie that is better than this movie.
Number one with a bullet.
Easily.
Number one with a bullet.
Okay.
Better than Twilight?
I forgot about Twilight. So I'm gonna have to rethink that one.
That's okay. I tell you what, you've made, all right, Maneater. You've legitimately made me have to rethink my. I have to rethink this whole thing now. I'm sorry.
Better than Blade? Yes, better than Blade.
Yes, because I mean, while Blade is a vampire movie, it's a Blade movie. It's a Blade movie first,
right?
And then, which, I mean, to be fair, Blade is half vampire. But I mean, also, we got to remember, y'all, and I know sometimes people have short-sightedness when it comes to, like, vampire movies. While it is the most popular supernatural genre, like, it used to be the most popular supernatural subgenre of film, I want to remind people of something about exactly how many vampire movies there are out there and why I can say what I say about this. Because a lot of people will say, oh, well, what about this movie? What about that movie? What about this movie? What about that movie? Well, I mean, we also got to remember, there's also, we got Interview with the Vampire. We have we have Salem's Lot. Salem's Lot was a thing. The Lost Boys. You got Bram Stoker's Dracula. You got Fright Night. What was it? Oh my God. We said earlier, From Dusk Till Dawn, 30 Days of Night. Hell, I'm looking right here. A lot of people probably don't remember this movie. Daybreakers, which is actually one of my favorite, like, semi-futuristic vampire movies, which I think a lot of people probably have slept on. Hell, I'll even throw you a fucking Shadow of the Vampire. A lot of people don't remember that movie. I will also throw you shit. You want to get into the anime spectrum? Vampire fucking Hunter D. Classic, and Bloodlust.
Queen of the Damned. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but I will say it's out there.
I mean, with the when Aaliyah was doing her thing.
I mean, that part's cool.
That part was right.
That part's cool. And shit, even though I think the Underworld movies are silly, there's Underworld. Hell, there's like 4 or 5 of those motherfuckers. They get worse with each one, but I mean, there's 4 or 5 of those motherfuckers. Clearly.
Harlem, yep.
Yeah, Vampires versus Brooklyn. Or what was it?
Every single horror movie is good. Like whichever you pick it is good because of the story around the horror that it tells.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Sometimes it's the message, like that whole like, you know, that thing that's I love it. It's my favorite horror genre, the A24 social subtext. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be talking about trauma or this. I love that type of shit, right? You know, whatever it is, it's gonna be the story being told about around it. You know, even if you love Underworld, you love it because of the fight scenes or because how badass she is with the sword and shit. Like,
it probably has very little to do with the actual story.
Exactly. This movie right here, if I cut out all other movies and I only look at vampire movies, we've never seen this before. And I can't, everything that Blerd's listed, not one of them legitimately made me go, okay, that one's pretty good. I'm gonna have to think about that. Even ones I love.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. Same. Like, I know this movie's mileage is going to vary with a lot of people, but I unironically love the movie Abigail, and I think it's a pretty damn fun movie if you're willing to allow yourself to have a good time with some silly vampire horror comedy shenanigans. But at the end of the day, I'm
actually looking forward to Abigail too.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take. Give me. Look, okay, first off, vampires are kind of my shit. So give me all the goddamn vampires, okay? You give them to me all day long. I'm not going to turn them down. But yes, I'm not going to, but I really can't honestly think of any other movie that I would put above Sinners. And here's something, and just to make my point even clear, Sinners does not even have vampires in the movie for most of the movie.
Right.
The vampires don't show up to the movies damn near halfway done. But they are so effective in their usage that I can't help but just really hyper focus on the vampire. Also, we talked about how our vampires are different.
This is all spoilers.
Yeah, we're talking. Yeah, we're talking. Yeah. Hey, that's my homie right there. Hey, that's the HNIC over at Blerd.com, y'all. Y'all go show my man's some love. But I'll say this. When it gets to the some of the church stuff, I saw people being so fucking performative about their Christianity in regards to this film. Did you see any of the videos and stuff people were taking, like and talking about how Sinners offended them?
No.
Yeah, no. I have a couple.
Please, yeah, this is gonna be great. This is right up there with Trump's having a task force for anti-Christian bias and prejudice in the United States of America, because we don't live in a Christian hegemony. Christianity doesn't rule everything around us. That's what CREAM stands for. Yeah, yeah, really, it is. That you're not wrong. Christianity does rule everything. I'm gonna pull up this video. This is a clip of a woman who did something that honestly I feel she should have caught hands for from somebody. I'm just gonna play it and y'all figure it out from there. How about that? I think that sounds fair. Here, let's pull this. Let's put it.
Jesus took the consequence of our sins on the cross. We have to be scared of the devil.
Okay, now I want to make something clear. The reason why the audio is kind of shitty is because she is in the fucking movie theater. You can probably tell that based on the sounds, is during the juke joint scene where everybody's dancing, the music is playing, all the stuff is going on, yada, yada, yada,
The
yada.
best part of the movie.
One of the best parts of the movie. This
Yeah.
motherfucker got up, stood up in the middle of the movie and trying to preach a sermon. This motherfucker. Like you about to
50% faith, 50% BPD.
Man, I'm like, bruh. I'm not gonna lie, we'd have had to fight. I'd be like, all right, okay, you want to talk? Okay, all right, hold on. Okay, come on. All right. I got to box you.
Done?
I got to box you.
I would have got my money back.
We fighting.
I would have got my money back. Because I'm like, look, if you don't have the people to remove people like that, then that's on you. You owe me that money. I want to see that movie again.
No,
Hell no.
We got to fight. We have to fight.
Hell no.
And here's the thing. You can't even really understand what she's saying. I'm not going to play the rest of the video, but because it's really difficult.
Preaching.
Yeah, she's just preaching. She's reciting scripture and preaching to the audience during what is objectively one of the best scenes in the entire fucking movie.
Yeah. One of the most powerful. Talking about, and it's not even about there's nothing demonic. There's nothing even like if you want to talk about demonic, yeah, okay. Maybe like one, I don't know, when old dude was blaspheming God in the water. Okay. Like, this is too much, whatever. It's still goofy, but whatever. But this is about using music to connect with your ancestors and your descendants, and it's like that's when you want to stand up? Really?
It's like, look, okay, first off, like I said, you follow an oppressor's religion, you're gonna do oppressor shit. Okay?
Man,
oppressors.
That's real.
That's bars. I just made that up.
That is.
I just made that shit up. That's off top of the dome right there.
Put it
Y'all
on a
can take
shirt.
it. Yeah. When you follow an oppressor, look, I'm gonna say it again. When y'all follow an oppressor's religion, you're going to do oppressor shit.
Mm-hmm.
Period. I'm sorry. I look. I cannot. My blackness will not allow me to
Put that on a shirt.
Yeah, write that shit down. My blackness will not allow me to follow a religion that was enforced by people who used to enslave my ancestors. I'm sorry, I just can't. I'm sorry. I can't. And I won't. I tried.
You know what it kind of reminds me of a little bit?
Didn't work.
And I think people are waking up more and more. It low-key reminds me of Zionism and Judaism. By and large, I understand, and here, I'll give a little bit of here's some charity for, I know there's Christians in the chat, so here's some charity. While we are speaking nothing but facts, and I'm not walking anything back, I will say nobody here is unaware of the role the Black church has played in bringing, the victims of the enslaved people together and their descendants together. Mm-hmm. It was the town square. It was a source of spiritual healing. It was the place the only place when they were enslaved that they were allowed to go and be free and pretty much not be slaves.
Yep.
These people were stolen as children on purpose, right? They did the same thing to indigenous people. And then those babies were raised in other people, away from the parents, away from everybody, and were told to think this religion. So we totally understand that. Mm-hmm. But if you look at like Zionism and Judaism, 80-90% of Jews think that Israel was right to be formed and yada yada yada. But eventually you got to go, wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's like,
hold on.
I'm glad that Christianity was there for my ancestors.
Yeah. It got them through a lot of shit.
I don't need it.
No. You know what it is?
I won't be killed for not doing it.
you know what? You know what it is? It was a useful tool. Like, okay, because you want to know the real reason why? You want to know I'm not saying I have any historical facts to back this up, so don't ask. But I'm gonna tell you why I think black people had, slaves in that time frame had Christianity enforced upon them, and it wasn't just because it was white people's religion, but because it preached forgiveness. Forgiveness, no matter what. Hey, I'm beating the brakes off your ass on the regular. I am sexually assaulting your women, taking your children away, but you gotta forgive me.
Did y'all know the Black Bible didn't have all the books of the Bible in it?
Nope, did not have it.
It was an abridged version, and they took out all the parts that could be received as could be interpreted as sparking of rebellion. Anything that talked about how they were free in God's eyes, and how you weren't supposed to enslave people anymore. Most of the New Testament was not in the Bibles your ancestors were allowed to read.
Exactly. And also, mind you, shouldn't have been able to read. Just based on law. So yeah, that's why I have the dismissive attitude I have towards Christianity. I mean, yeah, for the time, I agree with Robo. Yeah, sure. Okay. But now we're talking about 2025. Don't need it. Don't need it.
Marcus B., I found the receipt from the slave auction in the old parish textbooks in Town Hall where they purchased my ancestors. I don't do Christianity.
No, dude. Hey, right here. This.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Like
that shit is not, and that shit is not unique.
No.
Like people would want to be like, oh, those people. Like, no, it was all of Christianity. Like look at what the church did in Canada. Yeah. Go look at mass graves they found over what was it, 4 years ago? Mass graves that were outside where? Behind an old ass church.
Mm-hmm.
The Catholic Church destroyed the indigenous religions of Africa, the indigenous religions of South America. Christianity has been doing this to everybody, the whole world. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Of course, Nat Turner. What choice did Nat Turner have?
Yeah,
like that's like saying, oh, you did that and you owned an iPhone. Like in the future, there's no phones or some shit. Like, of course, it's the only what you don't have a choice.
Mm-hmm. And
that's probably a bad example, but
I will say this. First off, I couldn't take this person seriously because as soon as I read the caption, I knew what time it was. After Watcher sentence, okay, you already fucked up. You lost me right there. You had time before you posted this because I know you posted this shit from your phone. You posted this shit. You thought you were cooking. You posted this shit in the theater. I guarantee you. You did this shit, sat down in theater, had your screen all lit up, fucking up. Like, not only were you talking during the movie, you fucking up everybody else's viewing experience. You got the lights on your phone. You in CapCut right now, or rather at that moment, right then and there, and you thought you was cooking.
Keep quiet. Oh, you know what? I didn't even read it. That means, I'll tell you what happened.
Mm-hmm.
She bought that ticket to do this.
Oh, 100%. That's what I'm saying. This shit was performative as fuck. Fuck. Because look right here. She says right here, I could not keep quiet about Jesus, the one who saved us and defeated sin, the grave, and Satan. Y'all can write all the comments you want, but I know what I believe is true. Bitch, go somewhere. Go. Why are you here? What? Look, why do you... Okay, first off, you came... Christians are the only people...
$30 she put to the cause, though.
Oh, yeah, hey, look.
At least $30 to the cause, cool.
Hold on, wait a minute, because, hey, look... You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of that old Eddie Murphy bit from Eddie Murphy Raw, where when he's talking about where he's talking about his wife getting half talking about how you already making $100 million. Now your wife getting a job on the boutique, trying to like she acted like she deserved half, like she had to get a job at the boutique on the weekend to help make ends meet, but you already had $150 million. And it's like, oh yeah, see, let me here's some money. Now we have $150 and $70 million. That's what she did. She came and said, Ryan Coogler, you got 87,025,172, but I'm gonna add in my extra 30. So now you got 87,025,190 something dollars. Like, bitch, get the fuck out of my face with that shit. Go somewhere. Go. Stop. Stop. Dude, I'm so sick of these folks. These folks. Look, hey, you know what? She gave you right. You right, the novice. You right. She gave her money. She supported Black stories. And he got that ownership deal. Do y'all realize Ryan Coogler just got the most lucrative deal in cinema history?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
The most lucrative deal.
So,
no one.
How long does he have it for? 25 years?
Yeah, 25 years or some shit like that. And here's the thing. Dude, Scorsese ain't never got no deal like that.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it. This man got an A cinema score.
By the way, the fact that this is how you know the industry is fucked. When we start calling it a deal, that's his work.
No, 100%.
You know,
100%.
I'm like, that should be everybody's deal. This industry is cooked.
Oh, no.
We gotta be happy that creators get to keep their own work.
The thing is, and honestly, I'm even more. I'm impressed by that, but also impressed by the fact that it's a black man getting to keep his shit.
That's right.
Because you already know off top, they'd be like, no, give me your shit. Give me your shit. That's ours. That's ours. And dude, I'm actually shocked this movie actually got made, because you know what studio this came up out of. This is Warner Brothers. This is David Zaslav like a motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
I'm shocked David Zaslav let this get out.
When he broke the news, like, hey.
So no, stop.
Calm
stop.
down.
No.
I can't do this for everybody.
It's like, no, shit. He said, God damn it. Now Regina King coming over here trying to get some money. God damn it, Ryan, you done fucked it up for everybody. God damn it.
They had to put out a corporate memo the next day. Please stop asking HR if you can have the rights to your movie. The answer is no.
It's like, no, stop. Never, ever. And look, I think that this movie, with the A cinema score, and at the time that I made the thumbnail, here, let me see. At the time I made the thumbnail, Sinners had a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, on the tomato meter, and a 97 on the popcorn meter. It is still sitting at that. It is still sitting at that right now. To this day, it is still sitting there.
It was for a little while. It was at 100%.
Yes,
tomato meter.
And I'm not gonna hold y'all. That 2%. That's some hating ass white folks. That's what that is. And that's what that is. And it, right here. Look at this right here. Look at this right here. Critics' consensus. A rip-roaring fusion of masterful visual storytelling and toe-tapping music, writer-director Ryan Coogler's first original blockbuster reveals the full scope of his singular imagination. Here's the thing, and this is something I saw a lot of people give Black Girl Nerds some shit for, because they were talking about the fact that we needed to support this because this was an original work. This is Ryan Coogler stuff, and that this is going to be like a landmark movie for him. And people, once again, kind of like we were talking earlier, they don't have reading comprehension skills. People are like, oh, what are you trying to say? He ain't no original person. He done plenty of movies. That was good. And then next thing you know what movies they started citing? Black Panther. Creed. Those are properties. Creed
That's
is a spinoff of Rocky. It is. I mean,
right.
it's not like he can't even claim the character. He can't even play. He can't even claim the character.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Scroll down a little bit.
Oh yeah. What's up?
Read those two. These two
Oh,
reviews.
these some hating ass motherfuckers right here. Yeah. First off,
What is that?
Look. Wait. Here. Hold on. I'm gonna click on this bullshit. Actually, I'm not gonna click on because I don't want to give them the metrics. But here, we're just gonna do this. Do all the narrative and thematic threads come together? No. Sinners almost works better in parts than as a whole, but it's always enthralling, as if you too is okay. I can't take this review seriously because she'd have fucked it up.
She was talking like in the South, the old South in the 30s.
Yeah, Winlay Ma, you got a little too comfortable there. Comfortable there. You saw them Chinese folks in the movie, and you got comfortable. No, see, I don't appreciate this. She's like, oh yeah, look. First off, you know what? This motherfucker probably clapped when old girl got everybody killed. No, fuck out of here. You ain't shit.
We gotta talk about that too, but.
Oh no, we most certainly are because I have some fucking thoughts. But no, that's right here. I love how these motherfuckers. They're trying to get like. I love how nobody. Okay, these reviews right here. I want you to take a look at these reviews. I'm actually gonna click these. I want y'all to understand something. I'm gonna zoom these in just a little bit because I want y'all to fully understand the assignment that we have here. Okay, so this is what people do when they don't like giving out perfect scores for shit. So because they want to make it seem as though they have a critical because this is review word salad bullshit right here, where people try to be like, oh, I don't want to give it a perfect review, so I gotta say something negative. I can give it some kind of a backhanded
certified
compliment.
like actual reviewers.
Yeah, these are fucking. Get the fuck out of here with this shit. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all see some shit like this?
I want to sit down and have lunch with Winlay Ma. Is that an L? Winlay Ma?
Yeah. Winlay Ma.
I want to know what narrative or thematic threads didn't come together. Like it was like those strands that Loki was holding at the end, like they all just came to boom, and then they exploded, and then the roof burned down, and then it continued from there, and it was like, what movie are you watching that these things didn't come together?
Yeah, you know what this is? These were the motherfuckers who saw the juke joint scene when the roof burnt down. And the building was burnt down around everybody dancing, and they didn't understand what that meant.
Yeah,
like when the roof was on fire, they're so cooked, they didn't know that was a met. They thought the house really burned. Well, what do you mean? In the trailers that showed the house was still. Well, I don't understand. Did they use Haitian voodoo to make the house? Get the fuck out! Ooh. Okay, yeah, no, no, stop this, stop it. Y'all are cooked.
Look,
You're
here's
cooked.
the deal. I went to school for 8 years to be in film, and I'm sorry you just don't see the errors that I see. You know, that's why I don't describe them specifically. I just say things like thematic threads. Which thematic threads? Don't worry about
Which
all
ones?
that.
No.
Okay. If I told you, I wouldn't have a job. I'm just gonna say shit that you don't understand, so I sound smart.
Yeah. Oh no, and I you know what? You're right, G. You're right. I am giving them too much goddamn credit. They didn't see this shit. They clearly didn't see this shit.
You know,
man, I swear to God, I can't stand these folks. I really can't. But yeah, once again, that Winlay Ma, that. Oh, let me get a better look at that picture. She looked like Grace. She looked like old girl. She looked like old girl in the movie. She looked like old girl. Okay, first of all, I want to answer this real quick too, because we got one here from Terrell Fields with the 1999 juke joint super chat. I was big backing at the Alamo, demons on the screen and in my belly.
Man,
dude, look,
man. Let
me tell y'all something. Hold on, wait. I'm gonna pull this up. I gotta pull this up. I gotta pull this up.
My bank account was hurting, but that was me too. I killed them popcorn, candy.
Dude.
Man, I was in there.
Dude, look, it was so good. It was so good.
You got it.
everything that was
Either
going
that
on.
or you come with somebody with a big purse.
Bruh,
Either way, I'm eating.
Something. There was something. It ain't no two ways about it. But I just want to. There was an aspect of that scene. There was an aspect of that scene that I just thought was so powerful and so potent. And it was recreated. It was actually recreated for this movie. The whole scene where everybody is dancing. We're seeing all of the different eras of music and not even just for for black people, and the entire diaspora, but also for we saw some there was some indigenous representation, there was some Asian representation in there. We got to see so many generations of music, and it was dude, it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. And like, I honestly don't know. Here it is right here. I found it. There we go. I don't know how anyone can go into that scene and not see the beauty, the beauty in that scene. Like seeing all of those different eras of music converge on each other. I'm sorry. That's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and say right now, if Ryan Coogler does not get an Oscar for this shit, the whole thing is hoed. The whole thing is hoed. You can't have me sitting up here seeing all these trailers, seeing all of these critics talking about how, oh no, this is the greatest movie of the year. And then when the Oscars come around, none of these motherfuckers are talking about Sinners. None of these motherfuckers are talking about Sinners. What's going on here? Because I'm going to tell you right now, the Oscars, they're hoed. You want to know why? Because the movies you've never fucking heard of win. The movies that are actually out here making bank, out here being a part of the conversation, they're not getting talked about. So I'm going to tell you right now, when the Oscar nominations come out, this year, if I do not see, first off, if I only see Sinners in like shit like Wardrobe, I'm already calling the whole thing hoed. I need to see Sinners, best writing, best cinematography, best musical score. I need to see, okay, Sinners need to be like Beyonce in this bitch. In every fucking category. Just in every category. I'm sorry. You can't, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but
wait a minute. Kent Keltner, seeing that scene on the IMAX 70mm full black music was nothing. Wait, nope, it moved. Screen just made me gasp and all. So you're just gonna come in here with all these people, knowing damn well there's only like 10 70mm places in the whole fucking country, and just flex like that? That's rude.
Let's slow down. Let's slow down. Because I'm not going to hold you. I was kind of like, I saw people talking about the 70mm. I was mad.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't even care.
I was mad.
70mm is stupid. There's a reason why nobody makes that stupid shit anymore. And then I went to the room and cried.
Look, this is really...
I hate 70mm.
Stupid. I don't need it. You know what? Anyone who sees a 70mm is lame.
Yup.
Look, I'm out here. Look, I'm sorry. You got me out here punching air. I'm out here looking like fucking Cuba Gooding Jr. and fucking Boys in the Hood, just out here swinging, fighting air. No.
Oh, shit, look at that.
What's up?
Tercerant. Anyways, in my theater, people got up and danced when that scene came on. It was so beautiful. Everyone and that's dope. That's dope.
I like that shit. I like that, dude. That's the shit I'm talking about.
Remember when I said how often I say like, I'm not black, blah blah blah, but and I always have to blah 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 blah, right? But it's shit like this,
dude.
It's shit like this that lets me know, okay, yeah, That's why we're cousins. Because that shit would low-key annoyed me. I'd have been happy at first, but I'd been like, oh, that's tough. Okay, now shut the fuck up. Can you dance quieter? Shut the fuck up. Sit down.
It's like, yeah, no, it's cute. Fuck, no.
But then I noticed my black homies over there. I'm like, damn, man.
and okay, and I saw somebody bring it up because I just saw right here. Where to go? Right here. Yeah, Xylem said that scene was the cookout. And that's the thing. I think that's the part that I really appreciate about this. This movie had a very strong theme of anti just handing out cookout invites to everybody.
Right.
Just like literally just in terms of the vampires themselves.
Large, no.
Oh God, what happened?
He said, I know Black Poppy.
Oh. Oh my God. Yeah, no, that's that. Yeah, that. Yeah.
I like my theaters quiet.
No.
As I'm over here talking in the theaters and shit. Hey, go.
This motherfucker. But no, let's see. Jocelyn said check the Discord. Let me see. What's
Oh, it's talking about the question he has for we're gonna get to that. That's
we'll definitely get to that. Don't worry about that. But no, I will say, the whole thing with hey, you can't just let everybody in the cookout. You can't just let everybody in that motherfucker. Somebody gonna fuck it up for everybody. You can't. You just can't do it. And I loved how there's also the theme of anti-culture vulturisms, because that's something I think a lot of people kind of slept on when they probably needed to go back a couple of times and see it. But while Remick is an affable character, he's still the bad guy. Like, Ryan Coogler's really good at this. He's good at writing characters that you want to agree with, but ultimately you should not agree with. And whether you choose to still agree with that motherfucker after that is, your own thing. But like, basically, not saying that Remick is this movie's Killmonger, but he's the closest thing you're going to get to it as an Irish vampire is going to get. Because he was like, hey.
That's a good, I like that, actually.
Yeah. Well, it's because, you think about what he says about he's Irish.
You're not free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said this is not freedom. He's like the shit that's happening to you has been done to my people. He's like the Irish.
Right.
We got fucked on, and
even in the U.S., not just in the UK.
Right? Yeah. We're talking like not once but twice. And then he comes over to the States, and he's like, hey, he's offering true freedom. Like, he's like, hey, true freedom, true equality. But here's the thing, because it's kind of like the Looney Tune, where there's the characters like, oh yeah, come over here, but they got the mallet behind their hand, hidden behind their back,
right,
and you can't see it. Right. What Remick is really wanting is he wants the spirit, he wants the music. He wants he even says it. He's like, I want your music. I want your stories. Because the way vampirism works in this in the story is that anything he knows.
He now knows. Yeah.
It's all shared.
It took me a second to wonder how like those people in the house were suddenly awesome singers, and I'm like,
yeah.
Was there some time that passed? And then I realized I'm like, oh
yeah. Talk about this shot right here. Or there,
Well, when they sang for them, I'm like, damn, that's just good. But it's because they got his stuff.
Yeah. And not only that, something else I think that's kind of an underlying kind of tone here is that while they were good, they weren't great.
Well, they didn't have soul. There was no soul to it. There was no right.
Oh wait, where's my? That's it. That's the one. Hit it again. That's it. That's the right one.
Yeah.
That's the right one. That was the one. That's it. He got it. Oh wait, no. Fuck that.
But think about it. Okay.
It's like, yes.
Yes. And here's the thing, though. Check this out. When they started surrounding it, right? It got more and more powerful, more and more soulful. Right,
especially when they brought in the black people from inside the
right, and it was just to try to get them out of where their safe place was.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're using the culture against them. So check this out. First of all, I don't know when it comes to this kind of stuff that there is any one answer.
Mm-hmm.
And I find myself getting trapped into conversations like that where I'll go, oh no, I think it was more this, or I think it was more that. And I think a lot of these things, especially when it comes to like amazing, gifted writers, it can be like, yeah, there's layers, right? Like
100%.
themes are like onions, right? There's layers. And so it could be my first thought was vampires are white supremacy.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the first characters that become vampires are Klansmen. But then they wanted black folks to be a part of them. Then I'm like, black folks, white supremacy. Yeah, I still keep, because we have Candace Owens. I'm still kind of stuck on white supremacy. Candace Owens is in there, so that's fine. They'll use black folks to an end.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, nah, because he hates white people.
Mm-hmm.
He does. He doesn't like white people. He says that white people suffer too, and they really did suffer. So it's not like he was bullshitting.
No, he was for real.
And I'm like, this is white liberals.
Yes. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. I gotta hold on. Wait. There you go. Here, hold on. He said it.
Vampires are white liberals.
He said it. He said.
Yep.
He said the thing. He said
it.
They
love. They'll be, and you know who did the same thing? They did the same thing in Get Out.
Yes,
you know, like my dad would vote for Obama a third time if he could. Like, I would have voted for Obama a third time if he could. Like these are these white liberals that are come out there and they want your blackness, they want your culture, but at the end you're just gonna get eaten. They just need you to be a part of their deal. They didn't have any agency. They got to be black, right?
Right.
The Stack still had his it still had his his swag, but he didn't have his own agency anymore.
Nope.
It was taken.
And it seemed like it didn't really come back to him until
that's good. Brandy Candy said they want our rhythm, not our blues.
Right. That's it. Dude, that's it.
Man,
that's it.
Dropping them. Let me
dude, write that down. Right there. Dude, look, I'm telling you, that is literally what it was. Like I said, they wanted to be able, to colonize our shit. And the thing is, what Remick was offering was just another form of slavery. Because at the end of the day, he's still in charge.
That's right.
At the end of the day, this is all him. He's the HVIC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But no, but the thing is, I will also say I really loved Remick's portrayal in this, because he was
100%.
Like I said, everybody was good. Everybody was great. Also, something else I really liked. This goes down into the category of our vampires are different. I love the fact that all the vampires salivated.
When they're like, yeah, I like it.
Yeah, like it was like when there's the point where we've seen this in all the trailers as well, but Remick did it not in this specific scene, but like
right.
Haley Steinfeld when her character's turned, she's like,
a lot of people didn't know this. I think this is one of those kind of fetishes that people don't talk about. But I love that this became an internet conversation. At least it did on Threads. Talking about like, please tell me there aren't people out there who want to be spit in the mouth. And everybody, like, tons of people, not as disgusting, but tons more people were like,
I mean.
And then even more people were like, I didn't think I would, but I'm definitely giving it a try now.
Look, it's motherfuckers already sitting here like,
yeah,
trying to hawk up a loogie.
Come here, honey.
Here, let me. No,
No, not like that. Not
no,
like that.
no. But But no, I like that. I like the fact, because okay, so this is, a lot of people want to talk about From Dusk Till Dawn. I think the From Dusk Till Dawn comparison only applies to the fact that they're in a juke joint. It does not apply to the vampires themselves. Because the vampires in From Dusk Till Dawn, I don't think they were really all that, they weren't compelling characters by any stretch of the imagination. They were
They're just like
non-character.
the two-dimensional, I'm bad guy.
Right, that's it. That's all they were. These vampires reminded me more of the vampires from another one of my, like a movie that I actually think at one point in time was my favorite vampire movie, and Sinners has now replaced it, and that's 30 Days of Night, based on the comic of the same name.
Movie.
But G. Martin, no, this motherfucker did say hot tuh. Dude, wait a minute, dude. The Hot Tour girl, she got canceled just a couple of months too early. Dude, can you imagine? She could have rode on this one. Dude, she could have had this in the back pocket.
You thought I was talking about dick? No, I was talking about straighten your mouth.
like, gotta spit on that thing.
Yeah.
But no, this was and I say 30 Days of Night because the vampires in that movie, while not really any of them spoke, except for the main lead vampire, really, and even he didn't talk very often. I thought that why I said this reminds me more of 30 Days of Night is because these vampires, they were monsters. They were still, they still had personalities and talked, unlike the vampires in 30 Days of Night. However, like the vampires in 30 Days of Night, these vampires were straight up fucking monsters. Mm-hmm. Like when it was time to eat, all bets were off.
Which is what the drooling was, right? Like the drooling was what my dog does when I say treat.
Right? No, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Like baseline, no matter how nice they are, no matter how pleasant they look, they're still animals. Yeah.
Oh wait,
take it back. Selma Hayek compelled us all.
I mean, she did, but
unreal. I
mean, look, she could have called me Spot.
How many times I fucking paused that scene?
Yeah, she could have. I'm not gonna hold you when her face went all like Cobra Kai. I was like, all right, now hold on. Oh, like she
you gotta rewind a little bit.
That's it. The moment she turned it, look, the moment that motherfucker turned into Serpentor and was talking about some Cobra, like I had to back it up.
It's like that meme, that meme with the white girl that goes.
Yeah, no,
look, he's going back and forth. That'd be me. I'd be like, oh, now, well.
But no, that's like, but I love that aspect of it where it they showcase these people at the end of the day, they're slaves to their basest instincts, and that's to feed. Like, that's and like I say, it's kind of difficult to see.
Which
like
is to consume.
Yeah, to consume. And to consume the stories, the music, the rhythm, not the blues. That's it. That's
the rhythm, not the blues.
Not the blues. And like I said, just to go back to this shot, because I think it's very important that we pay attention to this. Like, you look at Remick, and he's like, and the whole time that he's in there talking to old girl, he's affable, he's charming. He's literally got her almost eating out of his hand until this shit happens. And then she's like, oh shit, hold on, so you're a little, you got a little something. Yeah. But yeah, and also I want to point out too, there's a couple of people who fucked up in this movie. Actually, there's three people. There's three people who fucked up in this movie. Three people who, I'm not gonna lie, they messed it up for everybody. There's three people specifically who fucked it up.
Number one, top of the list, Mary.
Oh yeah, no, Mary off top. Mary fucked it up.
Queen fuck up.
Oh yeah, no, because I'm gonna tell you right now, the movie. Okay, so first off, the movie does not happen without Mary.
Yes.
Going outside, because here's the thing.
Nope.
It's already been decided. These people are sus. We're not letting them in. And because Mary's like, nope, I'm going to be helpful.
Mm.
I'm going to go out there and bring him back. And here's the thing. Had Remmick's plan worked out the way that he hoped it would have, the movie would have been over a lot sooner.
That's right.
Because where Grace fucked up is that she got caught.
Well,
also Preacher Boy.
I do want to talk about Grace. Let's hold out Grace because we'll segue into that with John's comment. That's gonna be a good comment.
Okay, gotcha.
The question. But I do want to say that I find more sympathy with Grace than I do with Mary.
Mm.
Because in Mary, even in the subtext, let me tell y'all something about myself. Over on my stream, The Left Face, one thing that I say a lot is that when I tell people that I used to be in the military or I used to be conservative, and people like, nah, I don't trust it. I don't get mad. I get it. In my DSA, I felt like there's a couple who was a trans woman and a queer woman, and I got weird vibes from them. Like they were like I felt like they were kind of argumentative with me a lot. And one of the things I could think of is, here comes this big old dude, tatted up, just came out of the military. You know, I'm a socialist now, and I'm like, I get it. Lots of people who look like me are fucking pieces of shit to them. When I'm on my black and brown solidarity jump, and I'm on Threads, fucking jumping on a table, you know what I mean, like and doing that. When I see black folks being like, nah, it hurts. Sometimes I'll engage to see like maybe I could change their mind to understand that they're overgeneralizing, but I get it. And Mary is that, and it's because of Mary.
Oh yeah,
non-black people of color, right? Even people who share oppressors. When you are not black, you are a liability. You are a liability, and Mary proved that.
Yeah,
it is without that education, which is wild because she lived in the 30s. But this is how whiteness kind of blinds you from the get, because he gave her. She had a white husband. I don't give a fuck if Stack set her up or not. She still said I do.
Right.
But
Facts.
she saw but she saw and didn't see all at the same time.
Right.
Everybody in that building was like, nah, fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Not all of them are so bad. Fuck out of here.
And
so,
see,
yeah,
this,
definitely
yeah.
her.
This is why you have to be careful with them cookout invites. Because, I mean, look, I'm just saying, you can't bring everybody in this motherfucker.
That's right.
Now, Mary was good to be there, but she can't be bringing motherfuckers in there. Yep. And regardless of whether anyone else agreed to it or not, it was the fact that she pushed for it. She pushed for it. She tried to make, like, she literally, I don't know. I feel like at that point, that one's on her. The other one, and look, I love my boy. I love my boy Cornbread, okay? I think Cornbread's a good bean. He's a good man. He's a good man. However,
he was one of the guests in the chat too, and I can't think of where he fucked up.
What's that?
He's one of the guesses in the chat too. I can't think of where he fucked up, so I'm interested in here.
So Cornbread went outside. And he, like, you know, so they have this thing called, there's a trope called genre savvy.
Genre savvy.
So that's when, like, a character isn't necessarily
scary
like
movie dude who's telling everybody the rules of the scary movie.
Or not even that. Or they know enough to not be surprised by anything they like it's like, oh hey, I'm in a zombie movie. Shoot him in the fucking head. Like, or this person like, dude, look at it. Like, it's clearly a zombie. Why are y'all not seeing that this is like, it's that person? And he like Woman Masako's character would be considered genre savvy because she knew what time it was. Also, first off, when she started calling them haints, I cackled in the theater because that is a word I used to always hear my grandmother say when I was little.
Me and Maneater couldn't be the only way that we have Southern experience are these last 5 years in Georgia. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Born in New York, raised in California, lived in Washington State. I don't have no Southern exposure.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time, me and her whispering back and forth to each other. Hate?
Mm-hmm.
What did she say? I don't know. I think it's hate. Maybe they're called hates. I'm like, no,
Mm-mm.
I'm trying to Google it. It's nothing.
No, haint is it actually is.
All right.
It used to be a word commonly used to describe white people.
Oh wow.
Yeah. that's what
Love
like
it.
when my granny would use it, she would use it in reference to white people sometimes. But no, bless her heart, she was from a different time. But no, Cornbread went out, took a piss. First off, hearing these fucking weird ass, voices, he was way too like inquisitive for my taste. Like, I mean, and don't get me wrong, I get it. In this type of storytelling, it's, vampires aren't commonplace, so it's not like he would know. But I mean, I feel like even back then, the Klan was a thing. So, I mean, anyone trying to whisper at you while you're out in the dark forest, which should probably already set off alarm bells. And this motherfucker was like, he did the thing, like when the joke used to always be in the 90s where black people like, no, don't go in the house.
Yeah.
You heard the noise. Why you going to the noise? Why are you investigating? Right. He literally broke every rule of black code when it comes to horror movies. I was like, you separated yourself from the rest of the group. You heard a strange noise, and not only did that noise not like make you like think maybe I should leave here. No, your ass is like, ooh, I wonder.
Yeah.
Look, and I was like, dude, wait.
I'll give you.
I was like, also, Josh sort of said, why he had to go halfway through the woods just to take a piss? I was like, dude, you could have just as easily went on the side of the house. Nobody would have noticed.
Yeah. No, 100%. Not on the house, because it's 1930s, so you probably peeing into the building at that point.
Right.
Outside the house.
Yeah, it was like literally, it was a patch of darkness right there on the side. You look that fuck out of here with that shit. Yeah. Man, look, I ain't gonna lie. After not in that time frame. Oh no, I'm peeing on the house. Don't play with me.
That's right.
But that said, but no, Grace is the number one offender for me. I'm sorry, Grace. And look, I get it. Look, I was look, okay. First off, let me keep it a buck with y'all. Grace and her husband, I was with them. All the way up until some of that last part, because I kind of went to the movie knowing at some point, because they keep asking for the invite so much, I was like, someone's gonna fuck up and let these motherfuckers in here. Now, I'm not gonna lie. As much as I love Delroy Lindo, I thought it was gonna be him. But not because I thought, oh, he's going to invite him in on purpose. I thought maybe he might slip up and invite them in on accident.
Right.
Like, because there was a point where they were talking shit. And there was a point where he was talking some shit back. And I was like, oh, is he going to be the motherfuckers? But like, yeah, well, come on in here and get some. I'm like, oh, he's going to, that's what I was expecting.
Right.
I wasn't expecting.
I was afraid of that scene, yep.
I was expecting this motherfucker over here
to do it on purpose.
And I get it. I get the reasoning behind why she did it. But here's the thing. You fucked it up for everybody.
Asian Star-Lord.
Right? That's basically what she is. She's Asian Star-Lord. Yeah. She basically just, I was like, dude, what is going on here? You are Star Asian is who you are right now at this point. I was like, man, look. It pissed me off because this is what I was talking about the cookout. You can't invite it. Look, don't get me wrong. I'm sure they're nice people. They're good people. They fucked with the Smokestack twins, clearly. They were probably as close as you could get to, being family with the rest of the gang without having any skin in it.
Right. Right.
But let's be real.
Again, another non-black person of color.
Mm-hmm. But let's be real. Grace, to me, that's the equivalent of, oh man, she could do a little two-step. Yeah, she come on in. Come on into the cookout, baby girl. Come on in here. Man, did you see how she did the little Megan Thee Stallion dance? Y'all see how she did that? Man, she good. She did that almost as good as black people. Yeah. Hey, come on in here. Come on in here, girl. Come on into the cookout. Come on in.
Yeah.
That's basically what they did. And then, also, yes, Elite X1 is also correct. They were there to make profits.
Smokestack knew that. Smoke and
Oh,
Stack.
Yeah. I mean, they all knew. They knew what time it was. And right here, Brandy just said it right here too. But when the tough get going, Grace said, "Let's go." That shit was wrong. Yeah. Here's the thing. Here's the mess up right here. There was a way that everything could have been handled, and I get it. She was in the middle of some grief. Yeah, she literally, Remick has just threatened her child, and because he had turned her husband, he now knows where said child is. But I mean, if we're really being honest, if he, as a vampire, can take the memories of the people who he turns, if we're really keeping it a buck, I would go on a limb and say, well, no, technically that was Smoke that set up that deal. But I mean, let's assume that they're friends with the Smokestack twins. Clearly, Stack knows them probably about as well as Smoke does. Well, fuck, you turn Stack, so you Slick. He already knows that information, so it doesn't have anything to do with her husband, really. Anything that any of the other motherfuckers know, then they all know. It's a hive mind. So yeah, if Stack is even tangentially aware that she has a child, well, guess what? He knows anyway, so it didn't matter. But and honestly, that could even be considered a minor plot hole in the movie if you really want to nitpick. I'm not really into the business of picking nits, but. Grace, she made a choice for everybody. She invited all the vampires in, and also if she would have said that shit when there was only like 3 vampires, okay, cool, whatever. But there's a whole gang of motherfuckers outside, and you basically just rang the dinner bell and open the door for them all. They can just come on in. And while, yes, she died a hero's death, to me, it's a hero's death that rang a little bit hollow because... It's like, okay, well, you killed your husband, you set yourself on fire, and I was like, okay. Honestly, you died the death you deserved. You died a painful death. So I'm willing to let it slide. But the fact that, you literally, everybody, and there wasn't that much longer till daylight is the crazy part. If you really think about it. It wasn't that much longer till daylight. And she couldn't keep her fucking mouth shut.
I don't know. Oh well, no, they had Annie. I'm wondering how much they knew about daylight. Because they said, all we got to do is wait till sunrise. Yeah, they knew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they didn't. There was because, and you think about it, the time that passes from when Grace invites all the vampires in to the time it becomes daylight, there's not really a whole heap of a lot of time. It's not like they cut away or go to anything else. It's like from that moment on, we're literally in effectively real time, as close to real time as you can get. So I feel like, to save her daughter, that's cool. But I mean, I don't know. It was
the group dance that set her off. What group dance? You mean when they were surrounding the house? Singing?
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the vampires group dance? Yeah. Yeah. So well, because at that point she knew. At that point she knew her husband was gone.
Right. Here's why I put Annie over her.
Mm-hmm.
Annie's white privilege got everybody killed.
Mm-hmm.
Her naivete.
Yeah.
This one here, I understand, is still a part of the conversation. Not Annie, Mary.
Mary, yeah.
Right, yeah.
I knew you knew.
Yeah. But Grace, I think, is still, although she's still a part of the subtext of the non-black person of color who is a liability still, right? Is without digging into the subtext about what she represents just yet, I would say that I would have liked it if she did that without her daughter out there. Because with her daughter out there, it really is hard for me to be angry with her in any sense. Because she made a choice that affected everybody, sure. But even when I think about it, I try to put myself in her shoes. If I am panicking and I am stuck in this fucking house and I need to get home, and I believe the vampire that if we don't come out, he's gonna go kill one of my kids or whatever. I know if I go out there, I'm dead. But if we all go out there, we have a chance. You know, maybe I do the same thing. It's still fucked up. It's not good, but it's like everything's based off of the grief and the fact that she wants to protect her daughter. Versus Mario's none of that.
Well, I think the issue for me though with that is maybe I would jive with that a little bit better if like maybe she informed like she said, hey, look, everybody get your shit. Cause like when she did it, she basically did it. It's like, cause like this scene that I'm showing right here, this isn't them like, oh, we're carefully planning out. No. These motherfuckers are literally grabbing like every single thing they can fucking get their hands on because they know they're about that. Like this shit right here, everybody in this moment, it's motherfuckers grabbing whatever the fuck they can get their hands on because they know shit's about to go down because that motherfucker opened her big fat fucking mouth.
Right.
And it's like you didn't give anyone any chance. Like basically everybody is now having to defend. Because here's the thing, what immediately happens after that? Everybody getting clapped.
Oh yeah,
everybody getting clapped. And like motherfuckers are dropping like flies after this. It was basically like, you know what she was? Since everybody wants to keep comparing this shit to From Dusk Till Dawn, she was basically old boy in From Dusk Till Dawn when he threw dude through the door. It's like, well, now they just have a open door to get in this bitch. Now they can just dance a jig straight on in this motherfucker. That's just awesome. Yeah. So yeah, that I feel for her. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to sound heartless. I feel for her. I feel for her. I really do. But please believe if I look, let me pull this back up because I want y'all to really fully feel me on this. If I was standing next to that motherfucker when the vampire started busting in, that I'm just saying. I'm like, hey, you said they come in. You clearly was about it. She said she wanted to smoke y'all, and I would just run. I would just run. Yeah. I would run. I would try and find a way to get the fuck out of Dodge. Because I'm sorry. It's at this point, you have look. Because like, who is the closest?
You read my mind. I was just about to say that. Like they obviously didn't watch True Blood because you could rescind invitations.
Hey, also, you know what? I'm not gonna lie, and this is a little bit of a plot hole for me. Like I said, I'm not normally in the business of picking nits, but if I had to, if someone put a gun to my head and said, "Hey, pick a nit," I'm gonna tell you what I would say. I personally feel like the people who actually bought the place should be the only people who actually are able to invite someone. The owner of the home or place. Right. Because here's the thing. You can't say, oh, well, technically it's a public place. Well, no, because they had to ask to be invited in. It's a place that has ownership. Smoke and Stack both own it. That wait, hold on, wait. This motherfucker don't own this shit. This ain't her house. This ain't her juke joint. She just helped.
Are there vampire versions where the owner of the house has to be the one?
Typically,
because even the what was that show From?
Well, From is different because they're not really vampires.
I understand, right? But
well, yeah, but I get what you're saying.
Rules where they're outside unless you let them in.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a vampire, okay, it's a vampire curse. I mean, what is owned? Like, if I rent the house, can I invite them in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. No, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, it's just for me, that's like the one, if there was any, if there was one thing that took me out of the movie, it was her. Like that whole scene, because I personally feel like she should not have been able to invite those. Like, and once again, if you go, like I said, go look it up under TV tropes. I guarantee if you look up Sinners, I guarantee you one of the first tropes to be at the top of the list will be our vampires are different. I fucking promise you it's probably on there somewhere. But I feel like...
One more thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no.
The invite to the cookout.
Mm-hmm.
Mary wasn't invited. She showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Forced her way into the cookout.
Mm-hmm.
And she was invited because they were bringing all the supplies.
Well, yeah, they were bringing the supplies. She made the sign. She could draw.
Right.
She was
were
crafty.
part of the staff.
Yeah, she was part of the staff, but I mean, you don't own the motherfucker.
No. I'm changing subjects now. I'm just saying, I'm talking specifically about
gotcha.
Inviting people to the cookout. Like, that's another thing. Is like, it's not like she didn't talk with a black accent. She wasn't Aquafina out here.
No, she was good. Honestly,
I just hear a lot of the criticisms, and I'm just like, I don't know if they apply here. Even in the dance, think about the dance. Her ancestors came out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, her ancestors were called. I just don't feel they were doing the culture vulture thing with the Asians here. I hear about culture vulture a lot. The culture vulture thing was definitely happening with the Irish.
No, that's the only place. That's the only place where I'm talking about that. I'm not talking about her being a culture vulture.
I'm talking about Threads. I heard people on Threads talking about the Asians and culture vulture, and sometimes the Asians will do this. I'm just like, I didn't see that here.
I mean, I don't see that at all in this movie. I feel like for me personally, I'm not going to speak for anybody else. I feel like the culture vulture commentary was strictly the vampires and the vampires alone. Right. Now, when we talk about cookout invites, that's a whole other story. That I think honestly, once just based on what we have seen, if I had the benefit of a rewind or a do-over, I would be like, hey, Grace, it's cool. You and your husband brought all this shit. You made sign. That's cool. It's beautiful. But yeah, y'all got to go.
You got to go now. Yeah,
you got to go now.
No,
you got to leave.
Sense.
You got to leave. I can't. You can't stay. You can't stay.
So John Stewart in the questions, he goes, I've been seeing a lot of back and forth about Grace from Sinners. I think she got emotionally manipulated into making a bad decision that the rest of the group paid for. Emotionally manipulated by Remick. Yep.
100%.
Others argue she saved her daughter and the town with their actions. Well,
no, she didn't.
By accident.
Well, not even, because technically, okay. I'm gonna let you finish the question, because
go ahead.
No, because I have some thoughts about that.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Well, I'll just say this. Personally, I think that, and once again, she wasn't thinking rationally, because, once again, her child is being held as a bargaining chip in front of her. So I'm not expecting her to make a rational decision. Yeah, and her husband just died. So basically, her entire world is on the brink of collapse. So it kind of reminds me of the thing that came up in Devil May Cry, where dude was like, oh, you sold us out to the demons. He's like, well, you saved your daughters, but, now you've screwed the world. It's like, well, what the fuck does the world matter if I don't have my daughters? So I totally get where people are coming from with that aspect of it with Grace. The thing is I'm also going back to it was almost daylight. And while these vampires were fast, they weren't all like supernaturally fast. Like, they moved, and you could, for the most part, see them, sort of. I think there were some instances where some of them moved faster than others. By the time they would have gotten back to the town, because the town was not close by, by the time they would have gotten to the town, it would have been sunlight.
Are you saying that if they had left them out there, the sun would have caught them outside?
If they were dumb enough to still be outside trying to run to that store. Because, like I said, because they had already established that the town and the juke joint were nowhere near each other.
True.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, digging a hole or some shit. I don't fucking bury themselves. The thing for me is that if who wouldn't have stayed there and would have got away easy was Remick.
Mm-hmm.
if they had done the waiting thing, Remick would have survived, and then there would have been more people dead. I think that the fact that Remick died that night is why the whole thing ended. Or so we thought, because I know Stack and old girl had to eat. So
well, yeah. Well, and it was kind of the thing too, where they had established that even though if the master dies, the rest can still like move on or whatever. And it kind of seems like, and this is kind of a little bit of a commentary that I thought was interesting. I don't know if this is true. I'm just making shit up off the top of my head, but it felt like Stack and Mary had more agency in the mid-credit scene. Like they weren't slaves to their to their basis instincts, because I mean it was very obvious when they first turned that they were just bloodthirsty, and that's a common trope with
that and you were under the control of Remick.
Right. So with Remick gone,
and they get their own
they
shit.
could do their own shit, which I thought was a very interesting little play, because I actually was wondering whether or not in that final scene, whether or not Stack was gonna do something. And he didn't. Ultimately, he was like, no, we're good. He's like, I promise I wasn't gonna do anything to you. You're about to die anyway, so you just want to hear, play us a little something, and we're gonna get up out of here. I got this Cosby sweater kind of rocking right now.
Yes.
Mary looking kind of thick. I'm trying to do a little.
He had a Kid and Play sweater on. Kid and Play
Right.
sweater.
He's like, look, he out here like this. Ain't my type of hype, baby. Ain't my type of hype, baby. Like, I was like, dude, go ahead with your little bad self. Okay, go ahead.
So the hive mind ended because Remick died. That's the only reason why it ended.
Yeah.
Not because anybody was fighting anything.
No.
And the drooling wasn't about the transition because Remick drooled to Mary.
No.
So
no,
that
was normal.
I was just looking at comments.
Oh,
but the,
yeah.
So this. So just here, let's finish this question real quick. So I was interested in your thoughts, being parents and all, but also understanding how manipulation is used to convince people to go against their own self-interest in the to the detriment of the group. And I think that right there is what I can go with.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get fully on board with the non-black people of color being a liability, but more so the way people could be convinced to vote against their self-interest or
vote against their best self-interest.
I don't know if any of those people had children. Like, think about a character like Annie.
Hell, Cornbread had children. Or was about to, because I think wasn't his wife?
He had a pregnant wife.
He had a pregnant wife, and I think
he was also one of the ones first dead.
Yeah, he was first dead.
You know what I mean? So I mean, I don't know how he would have acted if he was trapped in there. Annie, being as much of a caretaker as she was, if she had a child, being her oldest child was taking care of him, not to say that she would have called them in and made them all fight immediately, but she wouldn't have been as cool as waiting for sunlight as everybody else. So you take these desperate, and this is the thing, you take these real desperate situations. What's up?
No.
Which would you read?
Cornbread, kill Cornbread.
True.
No. Cornbread took himself out the game. He retired his own jersey.
When I'm taking a piss half a mile away from the house at night and I hear whispers in the air, I go, what was that? You just be real though. He was dead as soon as he heard the whispers. It was all he wanted. He was dead no matter what.
It was a wrap.
First mistake was going out half a mile down the road.
Yeah.
But the idea that so yeah, I think Annie represents the type of people, and I think we do that today, by the way. I think that when you look at Hillary Clinton in 2020, and I'm sorry, 2016, and she spent so much time telling dying Appalachian towns with closing mines to just figure it out, and sorry, you have to find another industry and yada yada yada. The way that the Democratic Party only tries to appeal to where the centers of the population centers, because that's where most of the voters are. You're left with millions of people, rural people, who are also suffering, who can't afford, the same shit we all can't afford. And so it's easy for somebody like a Remick Trump or Donald Remick to go out there and say, hey, shit sucks, right? Doesn't things suck? And yes, things do suck. For Grace, it was your husband's dead and your child's Bell Malone, and I know where they're at. For rural Americans, it's fucking taxes are crazy and I'm poor and I don't know what to fucking do, right? So then somebody go, well, then all you got to do is come join us. And I think there were probably way more than one person inside that deal. It just happened to be Grace, and I think honestly, her Asianness was a red herring of sorts. I think her actions was agnostic of whether or not she was Asian. There could have been parents who would have done the same thing, potentially against their.
I mean, I'm not even thinking about her ethnicity or color or anything when I think about what I
only say that because that was the first thing for me. I was thinking about vegan liability, and I'm like kind of rethinking that. Yeah.
No. For me, it all roads for me, like, because I'm looking at this like like I said, I get it. For her, cool, she did what she had to do, but at the end of the day, fuck that motherfucker. Because I'm also looking at this as a motherfucker who. If I'm in the room with this motherfucker, oh yeah, please believe she getting shoved into the vampire. Like when the vampires start coming in, like honestly, I'm not gonna lie, as good as Perline was looking, when she was doing this shit up on the stage, I was like, ooh, shit, hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah, make me a vampire.
I was like, did
somebody
they get
said,
her?
I don't know who it was. They said, my theory is that she wasn't really married. She was
just playing.
She was just trying to like get what's his face away, playing hard to get. Look, that's you wanting that to be true.
Nah,
that's cool.
Nah, let me tell you something. The reality is that she got a husband somewhere that has no idea what didn't happen to her.
That's right.
Like she didn't just run off. Because remember, she got if I remember correctly, she got turned. And when all the sun shit popped off, she died just like everybody else did that was a vampire outside. But that's also why I was saying, like, I think that at the end of the day, they should, like, regardless of whatever could or would not have happened, they knew how much time they had left till sunrise. And the vampires didn't even have the fucking self-preservation to also recognize the sun was coming up. The motherfucker saw the sun come up and was like, yeah, no, we can still get these guys. You know what it was? It was like when we play, it was like when we would play multiplayer games like Hunt and be like, no, man, he's one shot. I can get him. That's what the vampires do. They were like, no, I know he ran around the corner, but I can get him.
Yeah.
I can get him. And then you run around the corner and get blown off. Or I run around the corner, I get blown off, just like, and it's like, you're like, oh shit, I thought I had him. I thought I had time. That's what I think when I think about the vampires. But no, they had no
here's what I think people are forgetting. Bazilism says, my question is now, is how none of the vampires watch Smoke sneak behind Remick and stab him. Here's the deal. They're all mind controlled. Remick is not here for the town.
Right.
He's not even there for any of them. He is there for Sammy's power to call the ancestors.
That's it.
Like, which, by the way, I thought was dope that they made that, like, when I saw that scene, I thought it was metaphorical. I thought this was like, we're showing this on how it feels. Like, this is the artistic expression of how you can connect with it feels like dancing with your ancestors. This is how powerful music is. No, that was real. That was actually the ancestors coming by. And you were told that by the vampire who said, I need that power for myself because I want to see my ancestors.
Right. Which is wild.
And so, yeah, but I'm like, okay, I mean, we have vampires in the first place. That's fun. And so everybody not running from the sun is because, again, somebody else brought up, and again, I'm trying to remember names, so you're not getting your shout out, but somebody said more powerful vampires can survive the sunlight. Old dude was running in the sunlight before
He was
sunset.
smoking.
And he was smoking. He had blisters.
Yeah.
He stood there for a long ass while. You know why they didn't run? Because he didn't let them run. He didn't
Nope.
give a fuck if they all died.
No.
He could survive.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. Also, he said that speech Rubik was giving Cuzzo was at least 10 minutes long. And then he said this stack poked him. It was because I mean he really did.
He did the Skeletor rule. There has to be like a Skeletor trope. You know?
Yeah. Look. He. You know what it is? He did the thing. He did the thing. He monologued.
The montage.
Yeah,
What is it? Monologue. That's it.
He monologued. He monologued, and all of a sudden, next year, he got a
Everybody
stake in
knows
the
you
back.
don't monologue. Just do the thing.
Yeah, that's why Ozymandias is such a badass, because he's like, oh yeah, no, I can monologue because I did my shit 35 minutes ago. That shit's done. That shit done. Nah, I already see. No, I'm not gonna monologue. Then hit the button. I hit the button before y'all even got here.
That's right.
So
right.
yeah, now I got all the time in the world. I can just monologue. Y'all can beat my ass. I don't care. It's done. My shit, my shit airtight. Y'all can't stop this. And
that's what that is. I think Will the Greatest, hits it on the head. Villains yapping when they think they've won. I think that's why it is the trope, and why we continue to accept it instead of just it being silly, is because that's what hubris is.
And people actually do that shit.
They do.
Like it's not a trope because it's not a thing that's a trope in movies because it's something someone made up a long time ago. It's a thing that people actually do. When people think that there's nothing you can do to stop them, they will sit there and talk cash, money, shit. Like it's kind of the reason why what was it? Like y'all remember when the election was won? And what was it? I think it was Matt Walsh that did that shit. He was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, Project 2025 was real. It was all real. It's all real. We doing this shit. We taking all y'all shit." And the reason why he's like, "Yeah, I can talk my shit out." Why? Because he already won. His candidate won and can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah,
that's why shit happens. But now I will also say too, because we got a couple.
And unfortunately, nobody snuck up behind him and stabbed him right when he said that. But
look, there's still time. There's still time. But no, we've got some super chat. We got some super chats here. We got one here from the novice with a 20 pounds as another lesson. The need to respect African culture. As a West African, it's not a coincidence. Some chat people unsubbed when they found out you're atheist. Puritanical Africans are not far away from Afrophobic ones. No, I believe it. Because here's the thing. This movie is not anti-Christian the way some people want to believe. It is pro
anything. Yeah,
it's actually pro-Christian, but it is also pro knowing your African roots, understanding and accepting your African roots. Because what was it? What was the whole thing? That was the whole purpose here. Is that there are traditions, African traditions that are passed down, down to the descendants from the ancestors, spiritual ways that have been lost. And because they have been lost and they have been replaced by an oppressor's dogma, we now see what used to be our faith and spirituality. We now see it as a devil worship or witchcraft or mythological. And that's the thing. I think, honestly, you want to talk about the greatest trick the devil ever pulled? I'm going to tell you the greatest trick white people ever pulled. And it wasn't slavery. It was tricking black people to fucking hate themselves. Tricking people to hate their fucking culture, to hate their roots, to hate themselves, to hate the way they look, the way they think, the way they talk, everything. To hate oneself. All of it.
Everything.
Every fucking thing. We have been trained. I'm not misusing the word. I mean what I say.
Literally.
Trained. Like fucking the same shit they pulled with indigenous people, they did it to us.
They've been doing it for 1,000 years. They've been doing that shit. Yeah.
The only difference between indigenous people and Africans in the way that they were treated by white colonizers, the only difference, actually, I tell you what, there's two differences, two very key differences. One, they knew they couldn't enslave the indigenous people the way that they enslaved Africans. They couldn't pull that off the exact same way. And the indigenous people were here first. Yeah. Like, they actually took this land from indigenous people. They took our ancestors from our land and brought us over to stolen land. That's basically the equivalent of stealing property and taking it to somewhere else that and taking it to a house that you stole. Hiding the stolen merchandise in a house you had stolen. That's basically what it was.
Yeah, not to mention that the slave industry was well established on the African continent.
Exactly, and that's also
that involved a lot of people, including unfortunately other Africans. And so, like, to say that, because I've heard that before. I've heard anti-black indigenous people talk about, like, they didn't do that to us because we'd fight. I'm like, do you think African people didn't fight for their lives? You know what I mean? There was an industry there. It was all of Europe there with entire armies. The Native Americans did not have any of that. They had all their own land and not an entire Europe fucking chasing them. Just
and I will also say
colonizers.
And I will also say too, while intertribal Native American relations have long been Hollywoodized, let's not sit here and pretend like you ancient indigenous cultures didn't have something vaguely, not necessarily slavery exactly, but it wasn't like everybody was sitting around the campfire singing "Kumbaya fucking ya." Let's not. Well,
I mean, race-based slavery was invented by Europe, but that is definitely a thing for sure.
Well, that's just kind of my whole thing, because to me, whenever I hear people say Africans, they were enslaving each other, that to me it always smacks of the same argument. People, black on black crime. I was like, dude, let's not say here. Like I always hate hearing our indigenous siblings say shit like that, because it's like, dude, don't sit and act like your ancestors wasn't out here fucking each other up. Don't play.
I tell the people, I'm like, look, all those people are doing, whether they know it or not, it's just white supremacy.
Yeah,
that's all it is. It's white supremacy. That's all it is. And the reason why I say that is like, does anybody, especially white people, when the French and the Brits are killing each other over land, when the Spanish are killing each other, when the when Vikings are killing each other, they get to be like individual cultures and individual people.
True.
Who cares if they're all light skinned, from light tan to white?
Right.
They're even in our books, even as me saying it now, we hear chat and all. Because I'm assuming, unless you're from Africa or raised with African parents, but if you're African American, born and raised in the United States, we still all grew up in the same education system, the same media. So when we think about Europe and we start thinking about the wars, we don't imagine all the same people, just some from this top and then some from the middle part and then some from the left part. No, they get to be Brits and French and Italian and German and Russian. They get to be all these individuals. But then we go Africa. Why did Africans sell other Africans? Because they were from a different nation? Do you think they were selling each other? Oh,
it's
because
the
they're
monolith.
all black. You think they're all the same people, so they're selling each other. They were people from other tribes, other nations doing that to weaker tribes and weaker nations. But they're not allowed to be individual nations because they're black, and black people don't have individual nations like that.
Look, let me keep it a buck with you. You know what would actually put me on game about that shit? When I was younger,
Arab ancient Egypt,
and would hear people say like if you fucked up in like misplaced Denmark or Sweden or some shit, I'd be like, okay, well, keep that same energy about Africa. Can you pick apart a fucking African nation? Because it would be those same motherfuckers who would say some shit like that, but like heaven for fucking bid, you mix up Italy and France.
Yeah.
Or you mix up Greece and Italy, or you mix up Germany and some other random
Tell
place.
somebody from Luxembourg you're pretty much German, and Luxembourg get all like
They're like, whoa! Well, guess what?
Is that like 53 countries on the continent, and the fact that people don't realize the different cultures. Here, I got something better. More than 53 nations on the continent. Those 53s are what some fucking organization in Europe laid down lines down on the continent and split it up into 53 different countries.
They drew imaginary lines. They drew imaginary lines on the map.
Which, by the way, just caused more war because you're laying borders down on top of ancient fucking grounds.
Like, it's like,
you know what I mean?
You basically, the Africa that we see today has been so heavily colonized that while I will always still refer to it as the motherland, let's be real, it is the birthplace of civilization. But
of course,
it has been colonized so heavily and fucked with on so many levels that it's basically it's not original recipe Africa. It's a colonizer's dream of what Africa should be, I guess, whatever. But I do also want to read this other one here because I think this is something that really kind of hit home for me too. Because, well, I'm not from Mississippi, but I'm not that far from, to my understanding, not too terribly far from where they were. And I think I do remember a couple of points, I think, where Memphis even got name dropped. But King Ase, I'm assuming this is King Ase. We'll just say ASE and keep it safe. Anyway, says this movie had me being set in Mississippi in the 30s. Like, if this was real life, my granddaddy would have been the same age as Sammy. Dude, and that's the thing.
Damn.
Because of the nature of history and the people having that recency bias with history, people like to think just because, that was the 1930s, that was forever ago. That was a long time ago. That's not... Dude, no. I always like to use this as my litmus test for this type of shit. Think about this. The motherfucker who accused Emmett Till of Quotey Fingers sexually assaulting her only recently died. And had Emmett Till not been murdered, lynched, Emmett Till would likely still be alive today. And that's something I always like to kind of point out to people sometimes when it comes to history. Like, yeah, when I was watching that movie, I was like, dude, like, even though, yeah, it's, a long time ago, dude, yeah, this movie takes place in such a setting that, like, my granny would have been alive. Now, she would not have been a particularly old. She wouldn't have been like grown or nothing, but she would have been alive.
Alive, yeah, still, yeah.
So there's
that's
that.
That's wild. That's wild.
And
one thing I did want to say before I forget.
Go ahead. Go off, King.
I don't know if this is problematic or not my place to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The something that I've heard from a lot of Africans, West Africans, East Africans are.
I said it right.
A lot of North Africans ain't shit.
What?
Yeah,
I've never.
And I'm like, you know what? That kind of makes sense. And you're talking specifically about black people because I'm like, I had a neighbor from the Sudan, and we were bullshitting when I first moved here, and he was talking, and this is what is funny about being Latin is like, so people try to fill me out, so they don't know where do I stand? Am I like an anti-black Mexican dude? Like, what am I? And this dude was talking wholesale trash about the ghettos around here and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, I'm in my head, I'm like, does this dude know he's black?
Well,
and I think it has to do with like that proximity to power, right? So like up in North Africa, you have black nations, but then what are right next to the black nations are Arab empires, you know what I mean? So they want to be, so they hate like, yeah. So it's wild.
Dude.
So I only bring that up because the old dude that unsubscribed and left he said he was from someplace in North Africa.
Oh, nah. Well, I'll say this much. I'm closer to where Sinners takes place than he is, so I think I have more of a say in this. Because for me, I actually looked this up. I knew that like Clarksdale is not that far from where I live, but the exact distance, it's like an hour and a half drive. For me to get from where I'm at to where they were. But no, I will say this, kind of to piggyback on what you were talking about. I have had some very limited interactions with Native Africans in my time, but I will say this. And this is the same thing you could say for generational differences here for blacks stateside. I remember I used to work a job with a couple of people, a father and a son, who immigrated here from Africa. Nigeria specifically. And I remember whenever I would talk to the son who was closer to my age, we were about the same age, give or take, at the time, he was way more accepting and actually involved in American black culture. His father used to talk cash money shit about American blacks. Like, I'm talking like, he talked about us the way that like racist rednecks would talk about black people. But the what would always kind of make it a little bit different was that he talked with a different accent. So like it kind of came off different. Like it always it kind of reminded me of how like you always hear like the stereotype though Japanese people can insult you but sound really fucking polite about it. That's what it kind of, like the way he would talk about it, it always sounded so vaguely polite when he would do it that I at first, when he would do it, I almost wouldn't pay it any attention. But that's to be said.
And you know what fucks up people too? Even allies, accomplices, whatever the fuck you want to say. He's black.
Yeah.
One of the hardest things to critique, then they know it, and that's why they do it. Like one of the hardest things to critique is an anti-black person. So like, what do you tell them? I'm like, man, I just call him anti-black. I'm like, sorry, you don't love yourself,
Oh, dude.
Then I'm a racist automatically because I'm trying to tell a black person how to be black. I'm like, bro, dude, you're just being racist. I don't know what to tell you. You're being anti-black.
No, this right here, what Elite just said.
Yeah. This is ignorance, though. This is anti-education. Did you see that street interview with the African Brit chick on the thing, where she was like, "Oh, how do you all not know where you're from? I don't get it." Yeah. And I'm like, bitch, are you dumb? Like, what?
We know where we're from. Here's the thing. I saw something else. I saw a TED Talk where an African woman was talking about like the reason why Africans have a tendency towards being anti-black or being pro-colonization. And it's because even she said, and I've actually had other Africans co-sign this for me, but because of the fact that a lot of the time, even in Africa, they don't learn their really true full history unless like they kind of similar to us. How we don't learn our true history.
Yeah, imperial education's still there.
Yeah, it's 100%. Still there. So the thing is, it's a pot calling a kettle black is what that is. And at the end of the day, I don't think there are any true, real black people when it all comes down to it. I mean, at least in terms of, hey.
Race is fake. So.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's a fucking construct. It's a construct that was created by white people. But the thing is, at the end of the day, I feel like it's black solidarity all the way across the board, as far as I'm concerned. When it comes down to it, it's black solidarity, it's brown solidarity. It's solidarity. Like at the end of the day, fuck Grace, but Asian solidarity too. Under normal circumstances,
hey,
her.
When it comes to solidarity, we gotta speak generally. There's always gonna be there's always gonna be people who need to be what's it called when you kick somebody exiled?
Yeah. And honestly, you know what? I think it's better to be called in than to be called out. So I mean, I really, if I'm being brutally honest, I'm calling Grace in. I'm calling Grace. I
just want Grace to be better.
Yeah, no.
Grace to be better. That's all I'm asking.
I'm just saying, if she gets a do-over, like I'm like this. Speaking from a meta-contextual level, if Grace got to do it all over again, knowing that the movie's gonna be over in the next 15 minutes, maybe don't invite the motherfuckers in. I'm just saying. But
hey, if they had just thrown Sammy out, this could all been over.
I mean, really, if you're being brutal, let's be real. I mean, he can have the culture. He can have a little drop of the culture if he would. Because, I mean, he's not getting all the culture. It's just Sammy. I mean, yeah, he a bad motherfucker on that pick fiddle, but I mean, it ain't like we giving up Kendrick.
Power? Come on.
Yeah, I'm about to say, it ain't like he gave up Kendrick. He ain't giving up Tupac. He ain't giving up Biggie. Like, come on now. I'm joking. Well, no, actually, here's the thing. I think what they should have done off top is and this is what I would have done. This is me. This is Blerd Without Fear talking about speaking for anybody else. If it was me, I'd have been like, all right, cool, bet. You come on in, but here's what this is the rules. We gotta have our own shit. Like, we gotta have our own, like, I mean, yeah, you cool. You do your thing over there. Like, you want to go roaming around the country, like, you're biting motherfuckers' necks, salivating the shit outside of your face. That's cool. But look, the juke joint stays. Does the juke joint stay is the real question. Because I'm like this. You can't have the juke joint. The juke joint got to stay. By the way, does Pearline still keep that seasoning on her inner thigh when she become a vampire?
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. I'm so glad you brought that up. Listen to me. I need you all to stop living in the fantasy world. You all have been watching way too much porn.
Yes.
That shit is disgusting. There is no fucking way that in the deep south, everybody's sweating, her dancing all night. She ain't taken a shower since that morning.
She got booty sweat.
Bro, she had to have taken at least one shit that day.
Oh, yeah. She got swamp ass.
Swamp ass, easy. I want to taste it? Bro, good. Okay, you want to taste some kitty juice. I'm all about it.
That's alley cat.
Yeah, I'm all about it. But that's more than, that's you know that shit is nah.
Look, that's that alley cat.
Hell no.
Oh, wait, I got it. Well, I'm sorry. That's alley cat.
Spicy. Oh, shit. No. Go first. No.
Dude, wait. What if he'd have done it? And, like she said, because didn't she walk? She had walked a good ways. So she had walked. So that means she got booty sweat. You know she took a dump. She ain't wiped good. Oh. Yeah, she probably got a little doo-doo. Little doo-doo.
They don't have a bidet then? The toilet paper sucks?
No. Ooh, yeah, no.
We're in the 30s now, okay? We're in the 30s.
Wait, not the fresh hog head cheese.
Bro, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm telling you, like, I don't want to. I'm not trying to ruin anything. Like, I'm not trying to be a misogynist and be like it's gross. This is just humanity. Yeah, you know what I mean. I want if you think any woman out there or any person who likes sucking stuff, right, wants to go down on you and pleasure you as a dude with a thing. After you've been working all day, you took a shower maybe that morning. Walked all day, walking everywhere, and she's gonna pull your pants down. The idea that people think that but it's for women is different. No, it's not. She's a human being. There's discharge. There's fucking cleansing. Come on now. Disgusting. When that happened, I was like, oh, hell no.
Oh, yeah. And no, Elite just pointed out, because that's another thing people aren't thinking about either. People didn't bathe regularly back then.
Yeah, they couldn't. There's no running water. So it was a luxury.
Yeah. So, everybody up in their thing.
This is not on her.
No, it's not.
It is not on her, 100%. She said, she goes, that's how you know.
Oh, yeah.
She knows her body. She goes,
she knew. She knew.
Go splash that up around the other.
No. She knew what time it was?
I want to taste you.
No, I don't.
Bro, I guarantee you, because it's not a porn, we couldn't see his face. But if we got a peek under the thing, he had to go in like a champ at that point. He probably came in like he'd been...
He's like, wait. He had to do this number right here. He had to stick his head out from under the dress and be like,
I don't know why people say this is so fun. That was disgusting. That was the worst smile I've ever met.
Dude.
Sammy is
Oh my
not
God.
okay.
No,
Sammy is not okay.
Nah, he a nasty motherfucker.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We still love him.
After that moment, this is 1930s, right?
Yeah,
So-
1930s. Yep.
So it was actually, legend says it was from that day. Because of that night, black men stopped eating pussy. It wouldn't be for another 60 years before it became cool again. 60, 65 years.
Yeah.
All because of Sammy.
All because Sammy.
Because of Sammy.
Like, see that boy, and you know what? See that boy got the devil in him. He eating
Yeah, we
cat.
can't demonetize it, but I tried.
Yeah, nah, it's okay. Yeah, it's it is what it is. It is what it is.
No, we won't keep you demonetized because I said dang.
Yeah, he said yeah. This guy.
And then the
Anyway,
P word about 10 more times.
they're like, yep, demonetized. Well, that plaque is
Man.
coming next year.
That
Next
easy.
year. Yeah.
That easy. I'm a freak. You spit in my mouth. I'm okay with all that.
What the fuck is that? Oh my god! I'm gonna. Jesus Christ! No,
Earlier when I said people learned and the people were doing the gifs were about like going like this, going, I'm people.
yeah. It's like, I mean, don't get me wrong, because I was like,
Damn.
I mean, she fine, so
Yeah.
But no, go ahead.
Knowing what it was, that's kind of fucked up too. How she turned that, she flipped it. Because it was a sign of her being a vampire. She goes, oh, that? Here, let me be hot. I'm like, oh man, that was slick.
The last question, and I think
She already know.
I think we're gonna call it after this one.
Okay, yeah.
This one is something. I kind of feel like this could kind of go into a long thing, but I'll tell you what, because I feel like it's something we could talk about next week.
That's a good one. One.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
just
the short answer is, fuck them.
yeah. For those that are wondering, the question was, Flominum asked us, what's poppin' there as a culture? Y'all hear about Neil Gaiman suing his accuser for violating their NDA? Yeah. Fuck out of here on all that. Also, I thought it was really funny that he pulled that bullshit the day they put out the trailer for Sandman season 2. He was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, y'all go see that trailer. By the way, yeah, I'm suing this motherfucker for violating." And here's the thing: not suing, not suing because of defamation,
Not libel.
not
Yeah,
libel,
defamation.
not
No.
defamation.
You
Because
told my
you-
secrets.
You told my secrets. You
and then you
snitch.
promised not to by this piece of paper.
It's
What a
like,
piece
look,
of shit,
look,
man.
That
Not
motherfucker.
technically. Okay, all right. I'm down to just leave it at that, but I will just say in the interest of fairness, not to anything, but anyways.
He's like, you see this?
If
You
I
violated.
said if I had a girl over and I was famous and I had an NDA, which is super common among celebrities, by the way,
Yes.
and I didn't assault her, and then she went and said I did, she's violated the NDA because she promised she wouldn't tell anybody about our sexual encounter. And maybe I feel like that's my only way to like have consequences because she's lying on me. I'm going to have to defend myself in court. But she also
Right.
told everybody we had sex, which she said she wouldn't do. So I wouldn't call it an admission, but still, fuck Gaiman.
It's one of those things. Like it's a very slippery slope that for me personally, if I were a judge, and I'm not, if someone immediately decided, okay, cool, well, now let's bring you into civil court or whatever the fuck would be the court for this particular situation, I'd be like, okay, cool, bet. Well, yeah, guilty. Because if that NDA, because okay, here's the thing, it's not breaking the NDA if she said anything false. You can only break NDA if you say something that's true.
No. So here's where I think, here's what I would do if I was a judge. I would say, I will rule when the criminal case is decided, because NDAs aren't like, you can't sign an NDA and let me like chop off your arm or something. Like NDAs aren't like, Like, if
It's not an exemption from
sign an
criminality.
NDA because, huh?
It's not an exemption from criminality.
Right. So if we sign an NDA because, hey, we're gonna do crazy shit. Hey, we're gonna do crazy shit. I'm a freak, okay? Okay, I'm down. Sign the NDA. And then I rape you. Okay. Now the NDA is null and void.
Yeah, it's null and void.
So if I was the judge, I'm like, I can't rule on it. Because if they say that you are that you're not guilty, then I'll rule in your favor because the courts didn't find that you raped her and she told people, boom, you broke the NDA. But if the criminal courts finds that she was raped, then there was no NDA broken.
Correct.
So it's the other way. It's only not broken if the crime did happen.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which is just wild.
Yeah.
I will also say we do have
Exactly, Brandy Crandy. That's exactly what I was getting at. You said that in so much less words than me. I appreciate that.
yeah. Okay, I see. Talking about right here. In some states, if they're found guilty, the NDA doesn't apply. Yeah, no, it's 100% true.
That's right.
100% true. 100 million %. It
reminds
true.
me of that horror thing, the craziest horror house where they tie you up and do shit to you and stuff. Have you heard of that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's like there's NDAs, but I'm like, I don't buy half the shit that goes in there because the NDA doesn't prevent you from things that are pulling out people's teeth. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Right. It's like, bruh, come on, man. Like for real. For serious? No.
Yeah. Hey, do you mind if I hawk my shit real quick?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Do your thing.
The store is up. We talked about Africa and the exploitation. Go ahead and check out the shirts at leftface.tv/apparel. Really, leftface.tv, but the leftface.tv/apparel is like the link in bio version. And I got a shirt I just made like for women or femme types. Might be good for Mother's Day. Yeah. The shirts are up. The shirts are up. If you're in my Discord and have ideas for shirts or items that you want, let me know in the topic suggestions part.
And matter of fact, I need to add that. I need to add that to the thing. I need to I tell you what, I can do this for right now. Boom.
There you go.
Here's the website. You see it right here. Boom. Go check it out. Go do the thing.
Scroll down. Show them some shirts.
Yeah, let's.
So that's the homegrown one. Y'all know the reference to that. If you don't, then you probably wouldn't want to buy it anyway.
Hey, we're homegrown out here, baby. Homegrown here. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more. But you see right here, got the homegrown. Joy is radical.
Yep, just made that last night. Took way too long.
Here, actually, I'm gonna pull this up. I wanna just
this shirt right here.
This is the one right here.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah. That's the one y'all might want to go take a look at if I was y'all. And
so
you
I'm trying to do like different categories. You know what I mean? That way there's something for everybody. If you guys are out here wanting to see something that you don't see in other places. So real quick, just so you know, you see the $25 right there.
Mm-hmm.
These are all like the eco-friendly shirts. So like the more expensive of them, and I think this one, like I get from the retailer is $19.99. When they put in the suggested price for you, it's $40. It's like $40 because they want you to. They said a healthy profit is like 50%.
You're right.
Well, that doesn't really make. Yeah, I'm a socialist, so I'm like, how do I do this without being a hypocrite? I lowered about 20% because I still have to there has to be a buffer there because of other shit that could happen. So you're gonna be hard pressed to find shops that sell $19 shirts for $25. I know conservative Bobby. That's right.
That's right. That's a good one. That's a good one. Hey, nerd large out here.
That's a good one.
That's a damn good one. I was gonna say too. Oh yeah, don't forget about the hats. Don't forget
I
about
got
the hats.
beanies. Got a hat.
Got resist,
I
solidarity.
was gonna do a red one that kind of looked like a MAGA hat, and then in red threading put "fuck Trump," because you didn't want to walk around with a cuss word on your head, but also was funny when you get up close. But a lot of people brought up some good points. People were, because I asked them threads, and they were like, "Well, it's kind of weird that you would wear that. That the only thing you can, the person who would be upset is now within striking range." So I think we're in a different time right now. And I'm like, you know what?
That's
maybe
fair.
like a few years ago, but like now, it's just like, yeah, maybe.
I
feel really bad if somebody got shot in the back because they're wearing one of my hats.
Did I? You know what's funny? I haven't done it very recently, but I have with like while he was still like running, like for the election was actually called.
Ooh, we want your rhythm.
I still would go out in my Wonder Woman t-shirt where she's like chin checking Trump.
Oh, nice.
And it would get me ugly looks all the time. Like, but these will also be the same motherfuckers who would be wearing like "Let's Go Brandon" shit, and this is like,
that's right.
It's like, dude, get the fuck over yourself. It's
always
snowflake.
Good for the goose, not the gander.
Oh yeah, rules for thee, not for me. We do have one last thing. One last thing, and it's because we have got. Let me also do this real quick too. So doing a little behind the scenes. Hold up. There we go. There we go. All right. Cool. Bet.
When are you putting up those 2 shirts that you made? Those images for the shirts on. You did one for the Blerd Cave and one for Nerd when we were like Green Lanterns and shit.
Oh, so yeah, it's funny. I actually thought about doing it today, but then I forgot to put the thing up. I forgot to put the but no, please believe it is on the way. And more likely than not, I tell you what, I'll probably put it up next week. Next week, I'll probably push it live while we're live. The Blerd Cave one's already up. I put it up for 300. For Blerd Cave 300. I was actually really sad I had to take out the.
I thought you were like, I'm like, $300? What?
No.
Was this just made out of gold?
No. I put up the shirt during the Blerd Cave 300. But no, I thought about holding it for
like a milestone
for a milestone, but I was like, nah, fuck that. Well, actually, no, because we do have 75 coming up, so we do have 75 coming up. Maybe I'll release it then. I'm gonna we're gonna hold it like the Ace of Spades. But I will say this, just for everyone who, for everyone that, in the chat, and, hanging with us. I do want to say just real quick, appreciate, all of y'all, kicking it with us, sticking with me through the, these really redonkulous ass, computer issues, and thankfully it sounds like most of that will soon be behind us, hopefully, but we'll just have to kind of play it by ear, and we'll just see what happens. But just know that things are about to be mostly back on track. Fingers crossed. That said, let's just get rid of that one and we'll call it a day. There we go. All right, now we're gonna go look into our Elite X1 indie game recommendation. And this one kind of near and dear to my heart. So let's go ahead and pull her up.
What's up, Nurse Coach fam? It's the Elite X1. This week's indie game recommendation is a bit of an oldie, but it's damn sure a goodie. Today we're going to be talking about Sentinels of the Multiverse by Greater Than Games and developed by Handelabra Games. Sentinels of the Multiverse is one of the most popular comics-themed CCGs, aka collectible card games and tabletop gaming. So even though I'm late to the party, I'm very happy to have discovered the digital version of this game. In Sentinels of the Multiverse, you'll control a team of superheroes battling supervillains across dynamic environments. You'll choose between 3 to 5 heroes, each with their own unique playstyle, backstories, and nemesis. What makes the different heroes that you can play special is that each one has a completely unique deck of cards that represents their powers and abilities. So part of the challenge of the game is picking a team of heroes that will have a good synergy and roles that complement each other in battle. The themed environments that the battles take place in are also a huge factor, as they will spawn random events that can be helpful or hurtful to both the heroes or the villains. The game will constantly keep you on your toes as these battles play out like big boss fights. Thankfully, if you don't want to go in solo, the game features co-op multiplayer with up to 5 people each taking control of one hero. The gameplay is not overly complicated, as battles boil down to around about 3 actions per character. On your turn, each hero will play a card, use a power, and then draw a card. The various heroes' powers and abilities stated on the cards will dictate how, when, and where actions will occur in battle. There are characters that are purely damage dealers, characters that will buff their teammates, characters that will debuff and control the cards of other characters, and some who can even manipulate the environments. Finding the best combinations to take down the villains without dying is the most satisfying element of this game. Each hero and villain, despite being original creations, will have something about them that will remind you of your favorite Marvel or DC comic book characters. Sentinels of the Multiverse is a great digital adaptation of the physical card game. The stylish artwork is taken straight from the physical card game and features variant artwork for all of the characters as well. But the best part is that the game does all of the math and rules tracking for you as you play it. The UI can be a bit rough at times, but thankfully there's a generous undo button available. And while there's a bit of a learning curve, the challenge of the game is fun and genuinely feels like battles from whole issues of comic books. The sheer variety of hero decks to learn is more than worth the price of admission. I'm hooked, and I've recently discovered that there's a sequel on the way in 2025 that will mimic the definitive edition of the physical card game and sport a more traditional UI. My advice: grab this first edition of the game, learn it, and wishlist the sequel when it goes up on stores. Sentinels of the Multiverse is a brilliant, deep, solo or co-op superhero-themed card game that is a must-play for fans of the genre, whether you experience it on PC, iOS, or Android.
Let's go. So that is the game, Sentinels of the Multiverse. I kind of chuckled a little bit when I saw this was what Elite was going to be putting up, because it's a game I used to own. Yeah, because it was an actual like physical an actual physical board game that you could play, tabletop card game, and used to play it a lot. So seeing it made into like, 'cause I didn't know that it got made into an actual like game, and so yeah, I'm excited for that. That's actually pretty damn cool in my opinion. And I like superheroes, so
win-win.
What's that?
Win-win.
Yeah, that's a double W, double dub. So that said, man, I'm gonna impart some advice to y'all, and I don't know if y'all know this. I just recently learned this. Last night I had the pleasure of chit-chatting with a couple of close friends during the midnight Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order launch. The online launch, obviously, not the in-store launch. And I learned something. I'm going to impart this wisdom to y'all. I shouldn't be telling you this, but I'm going to tell you. Don't ever go on these goddamn websites. I'm going to tell you guys a little story, then we're going to get the fuck out of here. I opened up the Best Buy website on my computer right here, where I'm sitting right now. About 11:30. Also, I just want to say real quick, Best Buy was operating on CPT. They were supposed to go live at midnight Eastern, but the website didn't actually kick off until it was like a little after 11:30. For me, it would have been midnight for somewhere else. I'm on Central, so I'm an hour behind. So what was effectively 12:30 something Eastern. So it was a little late. And I've been sitting in line. I was in the queue for an hour and a half. I pulled out my phone because one of my buddies, who's a little bit more adept at this than I am, he was the guy who hooked us up with all our PlayStation 5s. Gold cartridge gamer out here. Great guy. Love him to death.
ECG.
Out here. And he said, try your phone. He said, that's how I got on mine. Because in the time that we were all talking, he had pre-ordered 3. And then ultimately 4 Nintendo Switch 2s. And neither myself nor my buddy Adam, neither of us had managed to lock down a single one. He said, I did all mine on the phone app. He said, I don't use the websites. He said, I use the phone app because they get priority.
Really?
And sure as shit, when he said that, I pulled out my phone, pulled up Best Buy, did not use a different account, use the exact same fucking account. In 5 minutes. They're like, okay, cool. Confirm your information. Give us your payment information. All right, cool. All right, bet. Get out of here. You got your Switch 2. So there you go. I've imparted a little bit of wisdom on you. Use that next time the PS6 or Xbox 1080, whatever the fuck they decide to call that shit next go around. Y'all use that shit. Go with God, whatever. Robo, take us out of here.
That's funny.
Yeah, take us up out of here, Robo.
Ladies, gentlemen, NIMBYs, that is Nerds of Culture. I'm Robo. And here with Blerd Without Fear. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for everything that you all do. Being here is support too. I always say it because it's true, and I want you guys to remember that. Remember that when you're out there taking care of other people, to take care of yourself, because you are of no use to anybody if you are not good to go. So don't forget to hydrate, and don't forget to wash your damn hands.
My man. And just to add a little on to that, for Robo of Left Face TV, I am the Blerd Without Fear. And Grace, you can go to hell.